Hello and welcome back to the Goat Cave podcast. Today we have quite the episode ahead of us. I'd like to, introduce Shijo here. That's how you pronounce it, right?
Chijo, yeah.
Chijo, okay.
It's a bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't even know how to do the last name, so I'm not going to try.
It's all good. No worries.
Oh, fuck. But before we get into that, last week on the podcast, I sat down with Mike Rooftop Escamilla. What an incredible experience it was to speak with, a BMX legend.
Yeah.
For those that might not know who Mike is, he was the first BMX rider to ever hit the mega ramp at the X Games. He invented the crooked grind, and he was the first to do a double peg to backflip. And of course, the rail loop on Nitro Circuits.
Yeah, that stuff was wild.
It's ridiculous. Did I mention that he backflipped over a helicopter?
I don't understand how he did that. Like, that's so high consequence. Like,
We were talking about it, and he was saying that everybody had to be 50 yards back, because if he fucking hit it,
yeah,
it's
my
death.
God.
There's no way around it.
Yeah, like he would have just been sprayed That's
Yeah.
not good to talk about, I guess.
He was saying that when he was doing it, he was over rotating, and he kept going so far down the landing.
That's fucking
So
scary.
he moved 8 feet down the roll in and then dropped in and did it, and just fucking cased it. And he's like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah, no, that's not worth it at that point.
It's so crazy. Anyways, I'm so thankful that someone like Mike was willing to, just take the time to speak with me. It's a really good way to end off 2019, and
Yeah.
we're jumping into 2020, so let's do this. Tomorrow, we have a rider from Scotland. Join myself and Kieran McHugh as we chat about the BMX scene over there. This
Sick.
dude's just local dude, doesn't have any sponsors. He's a really good rider. I've known him for years. He's always supported my videos and whatnot, which is
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, I'm just super excited to talk with him. And it's everyone's favorite segment, Bail of the Week. We're going to basically just sit here and watch a couple clips and just say, some shit about them. And
All right.
yeah, if you're new here, these are all submitted clips. Each week I sit down with a guest and we pick out our favorite bail. And it goes on to the finals. And at the end of the year, the fans are going to pick their favorite clip. The Bail of the Year champion will get a trophy and a new pro model frame.
What? That's badass.
There we go. If you may be thinking, hey, Cam, how do I get a chance at that sweet, sweet, juicy frame you speak of? Well, that's easy. You just got to send me your bail footage on Instagram, or even email if you're, 7,000 years old.
Email a clip.
You might want to use WeTransfer. That's my favorite. I use it all the time. All right. So first up, we got last week's winner, Bin Jump Bradley. There's such a funny story behind that name, but I'll have to show you that after.
That's a sick name.
It's hilarious. All right, let's see here. Okay, here we go. So he sent this in 2 weeks ago with some other footage. If people send in their multiple clips, I'm just gonna keep using them the next week. Just use a different clip. Essentially.
Oh, spread them out, or
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So here we go.
Stop, please. Stop, please. Yeah. Oh my God. Jeez.
He almost took out that couple.
Yeah, they look unimpressed.
Yeah, very unimpressed. What was I gonna say? There's a clip of, is it Burns? No, it's Kurt.
No, it's Albie Bennett.
Albie Bennett. That's
and he
who it
takes
is.
that chick's legs completely out.
Takes that old couple out.
Oh my God. That's the every time I see that clip, I get those that worst pit of your stomach feeling. It's I always imagine sweeping someone's legs out, but they have the right to kick your ass at that point.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
You deserve I'm not saying that he meant to, but if I hit somebody, I'm just gonna assume that they're gonna want to hit me back. So
all right,
yeah,
let's do this.
Yeah, you got one shot.
Oh fuck. Yeah, so that was Bin Jump Bradley. Let's jump into everyone's favorite rider, Goon Style Kyle. Do you know Goon Style Kyle?
Yeah, I think
Joyride local.
Yeah. I've ridden with him a couple times, I think.
Yeah, he's really good friends with Nate Vandenberg.
Oh, okay, yeah. That kid's crazy good.
He's nuts. Last one.
Oh my God, it just disappears.
Over rotates so much.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Oh, fuck.
Is he okay?
Oh, he's fine. It's so good. What was I gonna say? Nate was actually on the podcast.
Oh, nice.
We talked about him landing his first 900 and
That's
all this
crazy.
crazy shit. He is like such a good all around rider. I honestly think that if he sticks with it, he'll be at the same level as like some of the top dudes in the game right now.
Yeah.
Like, he is so good.
Yeah, I just started following him recently on Instagram, and like everything he posts is just mind blowing and like so smooth and so dialed, and like it'll be cool to see what he does in the next couple of years because he's going to be someone to watch for sure.
For sure. He showed me this clip of him at Woodward because he's a counselor there.
Right. Oh, that's why he. Okay.
And holy fuck, this clip is for his like. He's like, yeah, I don't know. It's probably just gonna be in the next video part. I'm like, this is the perfect opening clip or banger.
Oh, it's
like,
one of those.
It's seriously so fucking nuts. I know that I can't say it, but I'll tell you afterwards.
all right,
it's
all right.
ridiculous.
That's cool.
Oh man. All right. And we got another clip from the Crash Master himself, Eric Weir, aka BMX Taxi.
Oh wow.
Have you ever been here?
No, I think I've seen a couple pictures of it, but jeez, that spot is unbelievable. Was there like a step in there?
There's like a 2-foot step.
Oh my
like
god.
from the bottom to the top. I don't know if you've ever been there. You said you didn't.
Yeah,
but
no, never.
The Christie Dam is incredible. That's like one of my favorite spots. It's pretty local to here.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, but like 45-minute drive.
Oh,
but
that's not too bad.
it is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And there's like 3 little step downs to make it to that big flat section.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
It's so much fun. You would actually probably love it there.
Yeah, it looks like really fun for like lip trick stuff, and like the background would be cool for clips and stuff.
Hell yeah.
That's so wicked.
You should hit up Gabe. Like Gabe Truex.
Oh, is that his?
He goes there
spot?
all the time, yeah. Or at least he
Gabe.
lives pretty close, so.
Might have to hit him up.
There you go. Eric sent in this clip from local rider, Little Nicky. This little 360 bail.
Hell yeah.
That kid is so cool, man. He's like, I think 15 now. He had the opening clip in my second friend section of my last DVD, Space
Okay,
Goats.
cool.
It's just like a little 10-stair gap, but like
Nice.
I've known this kid for so long, and like
That's
just
cool.
seeing the progression is really cool.
Yeah, it's always nice to see for
Yeah.
sure. That's awesome.
So hell yeah, Little Nicky.
That was wicked.
And we got Travis Stone almost running me over while we're filming Space Goats.
Ooh, that was a nice spot too. Oh my god. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, I must say.
You can't hear it, but he's got like, there's so much wind in the background. And
Oh,
then
really?
also just like, I wasn't really sure because this is the first take where he was going to come off. And like, oh man, I almost fucking died.
Yeah, that's really scary. Seems like a peg could have hit the lens or something like
Yeah.
pretty easy.
You don't want to do that.
No, definitely not.
Oh man. So many good bails. Who do we give it to this week?
I think the U-Home's getting run over is probably my favorite. Not because your home's getting run, but just it's pretty cool looking and like
It is a pretty funny clip.
yeah. I like that one a lot. I'm gonna go with that one. I think.
Hell yeah. So Travis Stone, you are our Bail of the Week champion. All right. And clip of the week. Clip of the week goes out to London local Justin Parsons for this Joyride Street Plaza line. Go follow Justin. That dude is sick.
Hell yeah. That was
Justin is
wicked.
like so smooth. I don't know if you've ever met him, but he filmed a section for my last video.
Oh, okay.
And damn, dude, like filming with him was so cool just because all of like his tricks, at least when we're filming street, are so dialed and
Oh, that's
so
nice.
perfect looking. Like his section is seriously one of my favorites. We used an MF Doom song
Oh,
for it
wicked.
and everything. Like Justin's pretty sick, so it was really cool to film with him.
I gotta check that out. That's cool. I really
yeah.
enjoy like super. I mean, I guess who doesn't? But like, yeah, it's really nice to see that stuff.
Yeah, he's got some really good riding.
In the age of like 90, like grind to 90s and like weird free coaster stuff, it's so nice to see like smooth ass dudes.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty. Let's hop back here. All right. So this week we have Toronto legend. He is a member of BMX Foo. He rides for Kink, Merit, and Vans. He has some of the best tire rides to whips in the game. Also, Ice Whip at Joyride. I saw that.
That's a new one that still got to do some R&D on.
Still
that
in
one.
the works, eh?
Yeah.
That trick is so crazy, man.
Thanks, dude. I get lucky just because it's natural for me, like both ways. So like it just works out a little bit easier because I do goofy whips. So
nice.
Like any grind to whip thing is like a lot like less difficult for me because that's the way I naturally whip. So
hell yeah.
That was my secret, but now everybody knows.
When he isn't out in the streets getting clips, you can find him trying to get a good burger or developing websites for companies like Porsche, Subaru, or Hyundai. Of course, we can't forget about his signature anti-slip brake tartar from BMX Foo. We are, of course, talking about Chijioke. I keep pronouncing it wrong.
Okay. It's just like Tai Chi and Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's like the easiest way I can explain it. But yeah, like whatever, it's all good.
Hell yeah, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. A little bit sore today, but happy to be out here. So thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to chat a bit.
Hobbling around a little bit, eh?
Yeah.
So what happened there?
I was actually, it is really fucked, and I'm like, I need to go to the hospital now. Like, then I know something's wrong, but I haven't had that yet. So, fingers crossed.
There you go.
I'm itching to go riding already. It's been 2 days, and I'm freaking out.
Damn, dude, I haven't rode in like 2.5 months. I've just been so busy. Like every weekend, I'm trying to do 2 podcasts a weekend, and like I don't know, it's
that's crazy.
Sacrifices. But I also just fucking hate indoor parks so much. Like, it's no offense to anybody that has an indoor park. Like, I absolutely love Inflow. I love the guys at Inflow. I love Joyride. All In. Work at All In. So I love that place too. But, it's just, there's something about being outside that I love so much more on a bike.
Yeah. Like, no matter what you have available to you in an indoor spot, like, it's going to get boring after a month or two. And, like, you start getting, like, kind of complacent about things and you're going to get lazy because there's nothing really to, like, charge those like motivational or like creative juices. So
half the joy of just riding my bike isn't even doing tricks. It's literally just
like
riding around spot to spot, hanging out,
like drinking in the street and shit.
Of
like
course,
that part of it is so integral. Like I miss that so much.
Yeah. Gotta take the old coffee fucking travel mug to Joyride.
yeah, exactly. Sorry, Mark.
Oh fuck. So the way I like to start these off is that we just go way back and basically start from where you started. So how did you get into BMX?
Yeah. Geez, it's been a minute now. So I used to ride mountain bikes, as most people know, like back in the day in high school and stuff. I rode for a company called Cycles Simtra. They're like a Quebec company who made like trials and mountain bike frames. I was having issues like dealing with like stuff about getting a bike, and like I was having issues trying to like communicate with them and stuff like that. So I just I said screw it, and the bike shop I was working at the time, Barry, shout out, been doing like cool weird shit, so it was like a cool like first BMX to have, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean it was like 30 pounds, but like that was back then.
Back then that was like pretty decent.
Yeah, you're right, it was.
Like my aftermarket bike with like $2,000 put into it, fucking still like 25 pounds, and I'm about to throw a front fork on it that has front brake mounts.
Oh yeah, another in that shit. So I'm definitely a big front brake. Like for example, like Bobby Altizer, he's like one of my favorite riders, and he's obviously a front brake dude. So like it's cool to watch him ride.
Hell yeah, yeah. That's front brakes are just really cool. I like the way that like I feel like brakes are finally coming back. At least my thoughts.
It seems like it. Yeah, like more people are kind of like playing with them a little bit more again, which is really nice. So hopefully that kind of keeps up momentum and more people start running brakes.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be nice. But I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. So you'd mentioned that you worked at a shop, right? Or was sponsored by a shop?
So I worked at a shop.
Okay.
Like in Bear. I worked at a ton of shops. I was a bike mechanic for like 10, 12 years before I started developing. So like I worked at Bikes on Barry, Cycle Solutions, Core, obviously back in the day in Toronto whenever it was still open, and then most recently I worked at Bikes on Wheels. So I'm really good friends with the dudes at Bikes on Wheels, and like they sponsor me for clothing, so I rep their stuff a lot, and if I ever need anything, like I can go in there and use their tools and stuff. So but yeah, it was like wrenching was a huge part of my life for like 10 years or so. Yeah,
exactly. So let's talk about Core for a minute. So Core was actually a bike shop in Toronto that was more of a BMX shop, was it not? Or was it basically complete BMX?
Yeah, so it was like Cycle Solutions like daughter or like child company. And we did 90% BMX and like a little bit of like dirt jumper, MTB stuff. And then, I think that's all we did.
So I went to Core years ago, obviously, because it's been gone for quite a while.
Now,
But when I went there, I think it would have been probably like the last year or so that they were around. I bought this blue Sputnik, like tiny seat post. That's how long ago it was. Everybody had the slam seats. They didn't have like anything that they wanted for that, right? It was just, I feel like the construction that was outside of Core, because it was like clear that the roads were ripped up.
I totally forgot about that actually. Yeah, that was a huge part of it. Because
I would assume so.
That really fucked us over for like the last summer because it was basically
it's impossible to get there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, there was no like. Usually there was a bunch of like beaches traffic, like foot traffic, but that was destroyed for that summer. So like we definitely felt that a lot.
Yeah. So when I a couple of years ago, the city of Kitchener built this new train in town, and they had to rip up a ton of the roads in order to do it. We were seeing businesses close like, left and right, including a McDonald's. And I'm like, when the fuck do you see a McDonald's close?
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
That's so weird.
And, there's so many shops that are on King Street, like bike shops. So one of them I used to work at, which is King Street Cycles. Shout out to you, Andy and Lori. You guys are great. They had the same thing where it's like it was fucking possible to get there. Like it was so hard to actually get there. And people were, I know at one point somebody took something that the construction guys had left, it was like a metal bar or something, and broke the window and like stole a bunch of shit. I'm like, it sucks that that's the way that it went. But
yeah, that's fucking brutal.
Now that the construction is finished, like, they have segregated bike lanes that are right in front of their business. They have all these things that are like bike related. So I think that that'll really help with, how they're doing as a business. So
yeah, that'll be good. Hopefully there wasn't too much of like a kick from the construction or whatever, and they can just kind of ramp back up quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be the most annoying thing to deal with as a business owner, because like you're completely powerless to it. Like you can't do anything about it. It's so frustrating. It's
gonna happen, right? You can't just close your business for 3 years and come back.
Yeah,
like it's just not gonna be in the same spot, right?
Yeah.
That was something that like Gabe and I were talking about when he was on, was just about like inflow and how the traffic is throughout the summer. And he was basically saying summer camp with scooters keeps that place alive in the summer.
That's crazy.
That's just kind of how it goes, though.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing with Joyride. And like their summertime camps are like their busiest time, which is why, I mean, I guess kids are, available all the time during the summer. But
yeah, exactly.
I always assume that it would be completely opposite. And it's like, you make your bread and butter in the wintertime whenever everybody needs to ride there. But
yeah, I would assume they make probably about the same amount in the winter as they do in the summer with their summer camps. They're probably wild. Pretty even, I would think.
I thought it would have been completely, like, drastically different. But, like, yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Anyways, going back to you, what was your first sponsor?
First sponsor, jeez.
Could be mountain bike or...
Mountain bike? So mountain bike would be Simtra, I think. Or no, actually, you know what it was? McBride Cycle back in the day. So that was, like the top... Toronto shops back in like the early 2000s. So my buddy was like one of the lead sales guys or whatever, and asked me to ride for them. But my first real sponsor, I think, was whenever I got picked up by 10-Pack for Volume and Demolition in like 2009, I think.
Nice.
So that was like my first like real deal sponsor with like, stuff and a couple trips here and there and stuff. So that was pretty cool.
So for the younger audience, let's explain what 10-Pack is.
Shit. I guess it has been a minute, eh?
It's been a while.
Fuck.
So
I'm dating myself like 10 times here.
Good.
10-Pack was one of the like premier BMX distros in Canada. They had a warehouse in Scarborough, and they also had a warehouse out in BC. So they were like, one of the few distros that was like actually, nationwide, and they were carrying a ton of stuff, and everything was going real well. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, they closed their doors, and I guess they started focusing on McNeil, because 10-Pack obviously owned McNeil, so they started focusing on McNeil more, and then things changed, and now McNeil's in different hands, and 10-Pack is 100% no more. So that was kind of sad, but
it was always really unfortunate. When I worked at the bike shop, I actually dealt with Jeremy from 10-Pack quite a bit.
Yeah.
And those dudes were really cool. Like, I hit them up the one day. I'm like, hey, we got to order in this frame. It's a We the People cream frame, if you remember that frame. Yep. It's like, yeah, it's just for me, but like, I'm hoping to get it in soon. He's like, oh, it's for you? Like, yeah. He's like, oh, okay, well, here, we'll give it to you 60% off of what the normal MSRP would be. I'm
Hell
like,
yeah,
are you
Jeremy.
fucking serious? Like, this is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like, just that kind of stuff where it's like, he doesn't have to do that at all. This
Mhm.
isn't like, that's not part of his business. He could just sell it the way that it is, but he always did that, which is really cool. 10-pack was like one of the companies that like you'd get a shipment and you'd open it and there'd be candy in there and like
Yeah,
a bunch of free
exactly.
shit,
Stickers and stuff. Yeah, that was always tight. Like those dudes were family. Like Terry, Carson, and Jamie, Jay back in the day when he was still involved with it. Darcy, like all those dudes were like I was super close to them. Like that's where I met Harley. Harley was my team manager for the whole time, and now we're super good friends. So yeah, like those dudes were like I was really close with all of them. So it was definitely hard to hear that everything was coming to an end, but you know, all good things do, I guess. So.
Yeah, of course. And then 1664 kind of like
Oh fuck, I forgot about 64.
I don't know if did they close or did they just change their name. I think they changed it to Brink.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if they're still around because I just haven't been in a shop in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, that was my first sponsor. I totally forgot, but I wrote for 64 too, which is but yeah, like I think they're 100% done because like they shut down Transitions, like their storefront shop, and then they switched to Brink. And yeah, I haven't heard anything from Brink in a while. So
yeah,
I think they're done as well, which is really sad.
That really sucks. 1664 had like a lot of parts built by S&M, I think.
Yeah,
Or,
so
like,
yeah, they had like Fit S&M, Revenge Industries, randomly enough, a couple other different ones, but yeah.
That's really cool. So you were on Volume and Demolition, which, if people don't know, they're like sister companies. Essentially, they're owned by the same people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of companies do that as well. Like obviously, just to name a few: Sabrosa and Shadow, Odyssey and Sunday. What's another one? We the People in a Clat, obviously.
Yeah, it's like distros, basically just making like children companies, because like all those companies are owned by, I think they're owned by the same distro. Like Sabrosa and Shadow are owned by Sparky's, I think.
Yep. Same with Bone Death.
Yeah,
they're on Sparky's, or at least they're distributed from there.
Mm-hmm,
so,
mm-hmm. And then like We the People's giant, web of companies is like We Make Things, I think. So it's like just like a few select groups like just making different projects, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, I feel like Redline was owned. I don't know if this is true, but I think I heard that Redline was a part of We the People at some point or something. Which sounds weird. I don't know why I think that that's not true.
Yeah, it does sound weird for some reason. It could very well have been the case. Like, who knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that was like a rumor floating around the shop back in the day.
Mm-hmm,
so I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah.
Yeah, it could be for sure.
So let's talk about how you got hooked up with your current sponsors. You're with Kink, Merit, and Vans.
Yeah. So with Kink, like it's like nothing official. Like they just kind of help me out with stuff, which is, shout out Jay and all the dudes at Kink and Blackout for being awesome dudes. Yeah, like they just like, it's super low pressure. They're like, if you need stuff or whatever, just let us know. So it's really, really cool situation because there's literally no pressure on me and I just get to enjoy it. And, they're there to help out if I need it. So like I crazy appreciate it, and like riding for a company or like being allowed to kind of use a company like that, or like what's the word
be
I'm looking
part
for?
Of a company.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's just nice to like Kink obviously has such a huge legacy in BMX. Like they've been around for so long and they've got such a strong team, and like they've made so many good videos.
Well, they have like Nathan Williams on Kink now.
Yeah, Nathan, Hobie, Dan, obviously, Chad Osborne, like all those dudes are like insane, really good. Yeah. So it's like it's really cool to be a part of, or like just to deal with the same stuff. So it's nice for sure.
Yeah, and then you're also on Merit and Vans. Let's talk about Merit. I recently had Montana Ricky and of course Justin Not Justin
Hell yeah.
on here.
My boys.
Yeah, so those guys are, they're true Merit riders, I would say. Like obviously Montana Ricky is I guess he would be like the
he's like the sales rep. Yeah,
he's the sales rep. Mm-hmm. And then Dustin is kind of just on the team because he's really good friends with Mike Brennan, who owns the company. He's been friends with Mike Brennan for years.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, let's talk about Merit.
Beef up their Canadian team a bit. So he was like, "Do you want to ride for us?" And I was like, "Of course." So that was, I think, 6 or 7 years ago at this point, because I was riding for McNeil still. So like it was definitely a while ago. But yeah, like I mean, I just went down to Jersey for like the Merit Christmas party. So like we got to hang out with everybody and like ride and stuff. So it was like, Merit's like a really cool crew. Like it's a fun group of guys to be around for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Those dudes at Merit are really cool. Like, you know, it's super cool that they did that like Christmas party thing. I was seeing all the like
Yeah.
Instagram clips and like Ricky's videos of it, and it's really cool, man. You guys got to go out and like, you know, ride the warehouse for a day, and then also you guys went out and rode street, which was really cool.
That was a bit of a push. It was fucking so cold that day.
Dude, I guarantee it.
Oh my god, it was great. Everyone was like, you know, someone would be filming a clip, and then the other dudes would just be like huddled for warmth, like with like a lighter trying to like get warm. It was so bad, but like, it was really fun. We rode some insane spots that day. Like, I don't know if you saw that clip I posted of that storm door.
I actually have it on my computer, so I'll bring that up. Oh man. Okay, let's see here. So, storm door, I think it's this one.
That's funny. But yeah, that spot was like a dream come true, obviously. We got booted pretty quickly, but yeah, this was too good not to ride. We felt really bad about pissing the people off inside, but like when you see stuff like that, you can't just leave.
No, you can't. Here, I'll replay it so that it's bigger for everybody.
Would have been sweet to kind of like get a little bit more, but like I said, we were kind of on a time crunch, so I just got what I could and got out of there. Began got a couple really cool clips on that, and Greg did a wicked pole jam, which was cool.
Yeah, Greg is kind of like the pole jam guy, eh?
Yeah, he's super good at that trick, and like it blows my mind because like I can't ride at a fucking vertical rail and just like smack my peg on it. Like I've gotten wrecked on that trick so many times, and he can do it on anything.
I ride profiles, so I'm like, I never want to do it because I don't want to break my fucking bolts.
That would be terrifying. Just like lose a peg.
Oh, dude, I rode profiles for so long. I snapped one, one of the bolts after like 4 years of riding front pegs.
That's random.
And just like randomly just broke it on a Smith. The fucking peg flew like 100 feet at this dude's car and like just missed it.
God. Just like a gunshot of a peg.
And then, you know, a couple years later on my Elites, which by the way, you shouldn't fucking run Elites to ride street. I'm an idiot. Don't follow me.
Hey man, whatever. It's a flex.
Yeah. But you know, I've run 4 pegs for years. I'm just riding the one day, and all of a sudden my fucking back wheel feels all weird. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's tight. Like, why is it moving around?
Yeah.
So take it apart, and sure enough, I fucking snapped the aluminum axle after like 5 years of riding these hubs.
That's pretty crazy, though.
That's the thing. I'm like, that's pretty good. So I just like basically gave the axle to my buddy, and he's a machinist, so he built me a new stainless steel axle. So it's not gonna break; it'll probably bend. But
yeah, just heat it back up and bend it back.
Yeah.
No, that's wicked.
Oh man, that's so cool. So, anyways, we were talking about Merritt, and let's talk about Vans. How did you get hooked up with Vans Canada? That's such a cool one.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like with most people like me, especially, like, getting a shoe sponsor was kind of like, as dumb as it sounds, like, it was kind of like one of those things that I wanted to kind of check off the list because, you know, it's like, it's fucking cool to get shoes. So, I think, when did it happen? I guess this past spring, my really good friend Mike Gray, everybody knows who Mike is, obviously. Yeah. He became the TM, and he kind of approached me about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like I want to get you on the team." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about, man? Like I'm not getting on Vans. Like don't be silly." But like he, you know, pushed for it and got me on there, and like yeah, like when the box of shoes showed up, like it was fucking surreal. Like I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like it actually, like, because I was kind of like, I didn't even tell my wife about it because I was like, who knows? Like this stuff falls through all the time, and like it seemed too good to be true because, like I said, I've been wanting a shoe sponsor forever. Not want, but you know what I mean? Like it's just people think
it's
like,
something that you know you were thinking of.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have, but like, yeah, I was like, I don't know, it might fall through, whatever. But yeah, the package showed up and it was cool.
So do they send you less shoes because you ride brakes?
That's a good question. Maybe they do.
You should start asking around. Yeah. Like, hey, how many boxes are you guys getting?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, like those dudes probably go through shoes like crazy fast.
Oh,
I just stretch them out because I've got big, like weird clown feet. So
there you go. I always ride like shoes that are exactly perfect on my feet, but then I wear shoes that are like a half size too big. I don't know why I'm a weirdo like that. It's just something that I do.
Yeah.
Oh man. So let's name off a few underrated riders that you've got in the back of your head right now. Could be Toronto locals, could be from anywhere. Just somebody you think deserves more credit.
Deserves more credit. There's so many. It's like it's hard to like pick specific ones. Like I was talking about somebody the other day. Shit. I guess I can start with like Canadian dudes. Like obviously, any of the BMX Foo guys. Like I think they deserve more shine for sure because they've been in it for so long and they've been doing so much work. I gotta say any of the six tape dudes because those are my boys. So, I mean, like honestly, one of my favorite riders right now is Joel. Like, Joel, like me and him are really good friends, and like everything he does is like so fucking good and so perfect, and like he's such like a technician about things. So like he'll like sit and work on something for a long time, but like he knows that like he wants it a specific way, and he wants to do it like this and that, and like I just really respect that, and like watching him do like really tech stuff is mind blowing to me. So
Joel's a really good filmer too.
Yeah, he's super good. Like if you give him an iPhone, like it'll look fucking amazing, which is awesome.
I hate iPhone filming. I'm like I have to have a ridiculously big, heavy camera in order to film good clips.
It makes it way easier with the big camera. Like I don't know how like he makes it look so fucking good. And every time I'm on a trip with Joel, I'm like, yo, you gotta film this for me because like no one's gonna make it look as good.
Yeah, it's always funny as like a filmer myself. None of my friends really know that much about filming. Like a couple of them are decent. They know what they're doing. But like you fucking hand somebody a camera and you're like, okay, it's on auto. All you got to do is do this one thing. And it's like always fucking head cut or, something like that. But I mean,
it's really hard.
It's really hard to actually film like a good BMX clip unless you're like a filmer, you know exactly what looks good,
Yeah, or you watch like a million videos and like what to replicate. And like even me, like I've watched so many videos, but I'm a fucking horrible filmer.
Yeah.
And like I try, but like it's so hard to make like things look good.
I always think that like my problem with iPhones and like, just filming phone clips is that it's such a light, small device that it's so fidgety. Whereas like with my huge, ridiculous camera over there, it's like it's so big, it's easier to move around. I also am like such a bitch. I suck at doing like manual zoom. I have to use the zoom rockers.
I would love for someone to come out with like some kind of attachment where you could like do that.
Oh, they have it.
Oh, no
Canon
shit.
has one, but it's like fucking $20,000. Oh. It's ridiculous.
Hey, never mind. Fuck that.
It's like for their pro cinema cameras, and like it will convert a lot of your lenses, like most of your EF lenses, into like a zoom lens essentially.
Okay.
It's like it's a weird attachment. I saw it years ago and I was like, oh, this would be really cool. So when I was filming like DSLR stuff.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Fucking jeez, that's crazy expensive. I mean, I guess that's kind of how it goes for film shit too.
Yeah, they have like small little like eBay attachments that you can do with your hand where it's like on the side. It's supposed to make it a little easier. Yeah. Which is because this is a little bit weirder.
Yeah, I can't do that.
This is like a little easier, I'd say, but yeah, either way. So also forgot to mention you're a part of BMX Foo. So why don't you explain what BMX Foo is to a lot of just the audience, and how did you get started with BMX Foo?
Foo is family first and foremost, as corny as that sounds. I mean, I've been riding with the Foo dudes since I got into it. Really, like I'm pretty sure I met Greg and Bobby. And Lee might have been there, but this was like at a 10-pack AM Jam back in 2005 or 2006 at Muskoka Woods. And I saw those dudes there, and I was just like, holy shit, like these guys are like the real deal. Like these are the guys. And just got closer with them as time went on. And Jake, which is the dude who actually makes the badges, he moved to Toronto, so we hung out a lot, and we got to film the first 6 tape together, which was really cool. And then all of those guys would come and visit Jake more. So at that point, we started really getting closer and hanging out and stuff. And me and Greg have been on. We're kind of like, it's kind of funny in terms of BMX. We're kind of like the same person because we've always really ridden for the same companies. So like we both get help from Kink. We're both on Merit. We both were on McNeil. We were both on 10-pack, so we got to go on like all those trips together and stuff. So like me and Greg are super close, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, like I've been riding with those dudes forever, and it just eventually one day they were like, oh, yo, do you want a badge? And I was like, holy shit, like, yeah, of course I want a badge. So it was really, really cool to get that. So it's one of my prized possessions on my bike all the time. It, obviously comes with me on every bike. So yeah,
that's really cool, man. The BMX Foo badge, if anybody doesn't know, it's like a head tube.
Coveted.
Yeah, it's a head tube badge that sits on like the front of your frame, obviously, and it's really fucking cool that you guys do that, because to really think about like the way that BMX has gone, a lot of companies aren't doing the badges. They're not doing even the engraving. Like, my BSD frame that I rode for years, it had the the engraved like BSD logo, and that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But like most time, people just throw a sticker on it or throw something random.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
like those fucking metal badges are so sick. Like anybody in the Southern Ontario scene that rides has seen them.
Yeah,
and
and
I
they
haven't
know.
heard one person that's like, "Oh, it's stupid." It's fucking, it's so cool. It's such a
Yeah.
good idea. I'll be honest, I totally wanted to steal that idea and fucking use it for my crew, but I'm like,
Nah, why not? Who
yeah,
cares?
that's the thing. I don't know anybody that does machining like that, so I don't know if I could fucking even get that done. But
I
we'll
mean,
see.
Jake
One day.
was doing it. Like I think Jake did a batch for the B&E dudes in Windsor, like the bacon and eggs dudes.
Nice.
But I mean, like now he's a dad, and you know he's busy all the time, so it's like it's hard for him to have time to like do freelance gigs like that.
Oh,
But
of
like,
course.
yeah, like it was really cool because he, you know, made all of them, and they're all super nice. And like I think he has a couple special ones which are like gold. Like I think him and Orbs
Nice.
have gold ones. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're really really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. A lot of like, you know, some of the riders just from Southern Ontario, it's always cool when you see it because you know for a fact
Yeah.
that they didn't buy it. There
Yeah,
was only
exactly.
one that was for sale ever, and it was $420, I
Yeah,
think.
someone bought it.
Somebody did, which is
that
hilarious.
was Jake's like wedding present, I'm pretty sure, which was fucking awesome. Like that's such a cool idea.
Yeah.
It's funny how someone actually bought it, but like we were like, oh yeah, let's just put it up for super expensive, and someone fucking, I don't know how, but
Somebody wanted it.
yeah.
Um,
So there's one dude out there who bought it.
And everybody else is an actual BMX Foo rider, which is pretty cool, or
Yeah.
like a fam member.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Like some kind of looser, tighter affiliation. So
Yeah,
like we definitely have ridden together at some point if they have a badge, which is cool.
that's pretty cool, man.
Mm.
Like Gabe Truax has one. Obviously, you have one. Lee
Mhm.
Dennis, like
Mhm.
just so many people. It's always cool when you see it because
Yeah.
you know immediately.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And yeah, usually if you see a bike with it on, you're like, oh, I have a friend here, which is, I mean, obviously if you see any bikes, you usually have friends, but like if it's a food badge, you're like, oh, I have like, you know, like I can actually like bro down with somebody, which is it's
Yeah.
a nice thing to see.
Exactly. I'm actually like, I want to start doing a couple more podcasts with the Foo dudes.
Oh, hell
So
yeah.
like, I might send you a couple messages to just send out to people.
Yeah,
Like, I'd love
definitely.
to talk to Greg, and obviously like Lee Dennis. I have, I think next week.
Oh,
Yeah, I
he's-
have
no,
Lee
that's
next
sick.
week. I might have to cancel though because Mark Brunette might be doing the podcast. So I'm like, I don't want to
Oh,
be a dick, but like
shit.
Mark's only in town one weekend, and
For the joyride thing, right?
yeah, so
yeah, that makes sense.
that's still a maybe. I don't know yet. Like
Mhm.
we were talking about it, and he's down to do it, but it's like he's fucking only here for like 3 days,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
that
gonna be
makes sense.
difficult. But we'll see. I either way, I have some sort of awesome podcast next week, so make
Hell
sure
yeah.
you tune in.
Hell yeah.
Little bit of a plug there, but. So who did you look up to when you were when you grew up riding? Because you know, obviously, like you were more of a mountain bike rider when you first started, and
Yeah.
I think that people can really see your style of riding. Like, obviously, you do so many brake tricks, which is
Yeah.
awesome. You really utilize brakes, and I think that that's
right.
like with people like yourself and Charlie that actually
Mhm.
like really use the brakes the way they should be meant to use. I guess
Yeah.
it really like. I don't know. It makes people want to put brakes on, you know?
It's a lot of fun, and like I do it just because like that's all I know. Like I've obviously like I was riding trials a lot as a kid, so like that's where a lot of my brake stuff comes from. And I mean like yeah, if I can, like I said the other day, if I can use my brake and my pegs in the same trick, like that is like that's as happy as I can be. Like that's my favorite thing to do. So it's always nice to find some of those combos. So it's there's been a couple cool ones this summer that I've gotten lucky to get, but yeah, like I just love using my brake on stuff. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's fun.
So any riders that you looked up to growing up?
Growing up, I mean, like a lot of them, like even when I started riding BMX, like a lot of them were still mountain bikers. So like whenever I started, there was dudes like Ryan Senechel, Mike Gooch, Mike Hedford, any of the drop machine downtown ride dudes like Dima or like Mickey Vonish and stuff like that. Like I looked up to those dudes like crazy because those were the guys that, you know, those were the pros that I watched in videos whenever I was mountain biking. So after that, like whenever I started BMX and like actually started watching BMX videos and stuff like that, honestly, I think like the first time that I was like really into BMX was whenever I watched Wide Awake Nightmare. I talked about this the other day on Instagram, but like Corey's part and
Yeah.
Wiz's part in Wide Awake Nightmare was just fucking unbelievable, obviously. So like those were dudes I looked up to, again, like Fryman, Spreitzer, all those dudes. Jeff Klug. He was anyone that like rode at Four Seasons. Like I watched, obviously anyone who rode watched props, like watched a lot of Four Seasons footage, but like any of those guys. Brendan Harris is a huge one for sure. Yeah, I mean, like there's too many to name, but like those are kind of some of the ones that come to mind. Anyone that did shit a little differently or had a break, and there's obviously the ones that are timeless, like Chase D and dudes like that. Like I could watch Chase ride for hours. He's super good. I wish he would put a break back on though.
Yeah, D Hart is so cool. And what I love about D Hart, and this might be true about you too, is that you guys really don't do too many bar spins. Like I've never seen a clip of D Hart do a bar ever.
I've seen a couple.
Okay.
He can throw them for sure, but yeah.
I wonder if they're like as clean as the rest of the shit that he does, because everything that dude does is like
laser clean.
It's literally like there's nobody that you can describe it to. It's D Hart. Like he is the perfect street style like dude. To me, like I don't know. He just really. If I wanted to show somebody like what BMX street is all about, I would show them a D Hart part, because that guy has like literally the style, you know, not even just like the style of riding, the style of clothing that he wears with it. Everything about that dude is like street riding,
exactly,
which is really cool.
It's either that I would show them either D Hart clips, or I would show them Kaczynski's part in forward or ground. I'm not sure. Whichever the crazy one was, and like he has those insane bails. Like that's like either you're a super style cat or you just huck your shit and like you're gnarly. But like both of them are still so cool. But like it's definitely one of those. Like if I were to show somebody what BMX kind of was, then like I would probably show them one of those two.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
Is kind of funny.
Yeah, D Hart's really cool. I want to try and get him on the podcast. It'd be interesting to hear like he's been around for so fucking long. Like,
yeah, he's been a G for a minute now. So
and he's like still killing it, and like the most crazy. Gangster shit ever is that his son's name is Cash. Like that Cash. Is so fucking cool.
Badass. And like Cash is like starting to like ride like for real now and shit, like which is awesome. Like that's so cool. Chase must be stoked on that.
I'm like, whose kid is gonna have better clips, Pat Casey's kid or D Hart's kid? Like,
yeah, that's tight.
Oh man, so crazy. So obviously, like I mentioned earlier, I've noticed that brakes are starting to make a comeback. Let's talk about why running brakes is important and why people should really consider it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I guess it's kind of a subjective thing. Like, I know a lot of people like really, really love brakeless, and like that's the thing. Like, I try and take my brakes off a couple times a year for a few weeks or months. Sometimes it lasts 24 hours. Sometimes it lasts, 3 months. But I try and take them off every once in a while just to kind of, because I really love brakeless riding. But obviously, it's completely different from my brake riding. So. But I mean, like, I don't know. I don't really know anything other than like riding a brake. You know what I mean? Like, that's what a normal bike is to me. And like, it's hard to commit to a brakeless bike for, like I said, more than like a short period of time. So it's like, to me, it just like doesn't make sense to not ride a brake, because like there's so many more tricks you can do and stuff like that. And like, I really have fun with my brake, but obviously there's a bit of a safety factor to it as well, like ripping around downtown, like cruising through shit. Like it's so much easier for me to like get away from like really create like door prizes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Or like if someone blows a light, you can like slam on your brakes and stuff like that. So like I enjoy it for that as well, but mostly it's just a trick button, like realistically.
Yeah. I love brakes, and like unlike you, I've been running brakes for about 5 years, and I haven't taken them off. I took them off for one afternoon in those 5 years.
Damn.
Because they just like something happened. I think I broke like a spring or something stupid, but and like that afternoon was the worst fucking afternoon that I had in the last 5 years.
There's definitely a bit of a learning curve. Like every time I take mine off, it's like a day or two before I'm like comfortable again.
I can't do it, man. And like one of my buddies at the time was like, "Oh man, you're such a sick brakeless rider." I'm like, I fucking hate this. Like this is terrible. Like I love having brakes just because obviously like, I ride pretty much everything, and I really pride myself on being an all-around rider. I can go pretty much anywhere and ride.
Right.
So I ride dirt jumps, I ride street, I ride park. I can ride a little bit of flatland. I'm not very good at it, but...
Which is how it should be. Like, you should be able to ride everything.
That's my thing, too, is that, like, a lot of people only focus on one thing. And I was going to get your opinion on that in a minute, but I think one of the main points that, when I first started riding brakeless years ago, when I first started... It was because I didn't know fuck all about bikes. I didn't know how to fix them, didn't know how to do anything. So my wheel was always out of whack. And like, let's be real here. A lot of street riders, when they, a lot of their wheels are fucked.
Yeah.
But
that's a reason for a lot of people, honestly.
That's
like
the thing.
Maintenance.
So the maintenance on a bike nowadays, shit is built so strong that you shouldn't really have to do much. Like realistically, I true my wheel twice a year. And that's like, at most. Like I don't even think I've done it this year. And I'll be honest, I do some pretty big shit. Like I do some pretty big gaps and drops and whatnot, and I never really have that
Stuff that should bend
yeah
a wheel.
stuff that should absolutely fuck your wheels, and like
Mhm.
I don't really have an issue. You know, it might just be really clean at riding bikes.
We'll go with that one on. I think it's that one, to be honest.
Oh man.
No, it's the same thing with me. Like, ever since I started riding those Merit Battle rims, shout out Merit. No, honestly, they're tank rims. Like they don't stay, like they don't leave true. It's wild. Like I can break like 3 or 4 spokes, and it just
That's sick.
like they're so solid, and I never really have to worry about it. Like I'm working on my bike a lot anyway, just because it's kind of like nice for me. It's kind of like just like knitting. Like it's just something to do at home while I'm watching TV. So like my wife will attest to this, like the amount of times that she'll like hear me like smacking my brakes in the office, like just tuning like little things.
Yeah.
Like I do it way too much, but
I'll be honest,
I don't need to.
I am kind of a bitch when it comes to my brakes. They actually they absolutely have to feel a certain way.
Definitely.
And if they don't, I just can't even fucking ride. I just can't deal with it.
I'm the same. I have a whole kit in my like riding bag. Like I have like a little 15. I have a 5 mil just for my brake adjustments. And I have like a little 8 mil and stuff. Cause like, if my brakes don't feel good, they're coming off at the spot.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't want to do that.
No, of course.
Yeah.
No, brakes are they can be frustrating, but I think that, let's talk about the pros here. When you do have them, it opens up an entire new catalog of tricks.
Yeah.
Because now every trick that you do, you can add in something else. Like a trick that I see Crumlish do a lot is a feeble to foofanu and then hop out. That shit looks sick.
Yeah, that's a fun one for sure.
That stuff is just so cool. And I think that when you add brakes into the mix, it can take your riding from, a 7 to a 10 really quick.
It's a cool way to distinguish yourself as well, because obviously not a lot of people have the ability to do brake tricks, as not a lot of people run brakes. So if you just sprinkle in a few things, even like stock brake tricks like abubakas and fufanus and stuff like that, like you do an abubaca on a quarter pipe and people are like, oh cool, like can I try that? Like everybody
So I need the brakes for those. I racked myself in the nuts so fucking hard trying to do an abubaca on the sub box at All In's Bowl. There's a video of it. So obviously you go up and it's just the right height where you pop into it. And if you jump, if you need to jump back out, literally right down on the sack, and then you fall back into the bowl.
Kick him while he's down.
Yeah, pretty much.
That sounds brutal.
It's the greatest bail ever. So bad.
Yeah, that sounds like shit. That sucks.
No, but I got to go back and get that. That was 3 years ago. And I just don't even go there anymore because I suck at riding in the winter, apparently.
It's a bit of a send from here, isn't it? It's kind of...
It's about the same distance as Joyride, I would say.
Okay,
Inflow's our closest park at 45, 60 minutes.
Oh, that's not too
All
too
In. Here's the problem with All In. They're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
so
Zurich or some shit?
Yeah, in Zurich. Yeah. So there's nowhere to really eat in Zurich. So you kind of have to come prepared with a lunch. You got to leave, go to Exeter. But the real problem is that any time that I fucking go there, literally 5 out of 10 times, I end up having to stay the night because it's a fucking snowstorm. Always. There's never
funny.
Not a blizzard there.
So it's a weekend affair then, not just
pretty
an
much.
evening.
Yeah. So I'm I got animals now. I got responsibilities. I'm an adult all of a sudden. I don't want to do this.
Comes up on you quick, man.
Oh fuck! Have you seen their crazy mega ramp outside though?
No.
They have
a mega ramp?
They have a mini mega ramp outside now with an airbag landing, and it's ridiculous. I want to ride that. I want to hit it so badly.
That shit scares the hell out of me, man.
They had R. Willie there over the summer because he does their training camps in the summer.
Really?
Yeah, R. Willie goes there all the time.
That's crazy. Good for them.
I know. It's Derek's doing pretty good, man.
Yeah, he's a big name.
Yeah. Well, R. Willie went there a week after winning X Games mega ramp this year.
Is that when he did the flip drop?
Yeah, he did the flip drop in. We were talking about that last week with Mike, and he was saying that it's really hard to pick out what trick is crazier when it comes to Morgan Wade's run and R. Willie's run. So I don't know if you remember those, but
Morgan did hop double whip, or
Morgan did hop double whip into the ramp. Which, by the way, when the fuck did we start doing tricks into the roll-in?
Why is that a thing?
Why is this a thing? Why is this happening?
It does it's so daredevil like that.
Yeah, he did fucking hop double whip in, and then corked 7 no-hander or backflip 360 no-hander over the gap. Right. and then double whip one-handed air. And like we were talking about it, and it's really hard to decide who would get it. Obviously, like, you know, our Willie took it. He took the win with the backflip in, forward bike flip like nothing, grab onto it, and then he did the front flare.
Oh yeah, I remember,
so Mike was saying that, you know, like that one-handed double whip, who's doing that?
Yeah,
nobody.
Especially like 25 feet out of a quarter.
25 feet out of a fucking
like just like
30-foot tall quarter pipe.
Doing that with one hand doesn't make sense. Like
that's
it's
the
impossible.
thing. I'm like, it literally doesn't, because you kick it. Like for me, I could never imagine doing that, because it just makes sense that the bike would just go away from you.
Yeah, like you need that
weighted
like, dip with both hands. Otherwise, like I can't even comprehend how you would start trying that.
So we were talking about that, and he was saying that was obviously like probably one of the hardest decisions for the judges.
Oh yeah,
in order to do it, and that, you know, like it had to be so fucking close, because double whip, like he was saying, double whip in. There's no way out of that.
No.
Like if you fuck up, you're going straight to the bottom.
Yeah.
Whereas
you're not gonna
like
catch tranny on that.
Yeah, he was saying that, like, you know, with the flip in, it's a little safer, which to me, I'm like, are you fucking serious? But it's Mike Escamilla, so I gotta listen. Yeah. You know, he was saying that flip in is a lot easier in like bailing out, because you can get halfway around, see where you are, and just kind of like dive and slide down.
Yeah.
Whereas like double whip in, you're just going straight down to the fucking, like, if you don't land that, you're eating shit.
That's scary.
And then, you know, we talked about that double whip no-hander, and he was saying that, you know, it should have been Morgan, but it makes sense, you know, like our Willie did do an amazing job. Like,
he did
I think
some
they
crazy
both
shit.
Sad part is one of them has to be the winner.
No,
you know what I mean?
For sure,
like you can't really have a tie nowadays, at least with X Games, especially when it comes to Mega Ramp, because there's what 10 BMX riders riding Mega.
Yeah,
that's it. Like
exactly. There's not like a huge field of dudes.
Yeah,
which is crazy. I'm always rooting for my boy Michael. Shout out Michael.
Hell yeah.
He killed it too. He did a bunch of crazy shit. I think he's getting back on his bike soon, hopefully, which is tight. He got murked on a Mega Ramp other, like, I guess maybe 6 weeks ago. But yeah, like he's another dude who's like, he's on a vert ramp too. Like he's so fucking smooth and good. Like 30 feet out of this ramp, it's unbelievable. Like the dude is just a powerhouse. It's so wild to see.
Vert ramps are fucking crazy, man. Like a lot of people will go to Joyride and they think, "Oh, this is a vert ramp."
Yeah, no, that's a mini vert.
That is a mini vert ramp, dude. Like a real vert ramp is like, I don't know, probably fucking 60 feet long and 13 feet high with like a foot of vert.
Into them. Like they feel like looking down at an actual vertical wall is like, nah, fuck that.
I've dropped in, like I can drop into the Joyride one pretty easily, but let's be real here. If I was 3 feet up, like higher than that, I'm probably not going to do that. Like it's pretty fucked.
Yeah, no, it's like vert is one of those things that like people just kind of, I feel like people just took for granted, like normal people watching the X Games in like the early and mid 2000s, but like not many people actually got to stand on top of a vert ramp and be like, holy fuck, like this. It's even the same thing for like snowboarding, like that super pipe shit. Like those things are no joke, and people are like, oh yeah, cool.
How much do you follow snowboarding?
Not a whole ton. I just got back into it like this season, so I'm just trying to kind of, you know, get my head around things after 15 years and not doing it. But like, yeah, like the stuff that people are doing now is just unbelievable. Do
you ever watch the X Games Real Street when it comes to snowboarding?
Yeah,
that shit's fucking wild,
insane.
Dude.
It's so like I saw one of them for the first time a couple years ago, and I was like, holy shit! Like these guys are like things have changed. Like dudes doing like big rails, flip gap, like down rails, like on a street setup. Like that's unbelievable.
Or you got our Canadian dude Frank Borges doing fucking like wall ride to gap drop in on a fucking 4-story building.
That
like
shit is insane.
What?
Yeah, like those big wall trainings that they build. Like that looks so cool.
It's ridiculous, man. Like that dude Frank Borges, he's nuts. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. But anyways, he's from Montreal, I believe, or at least Quebec.
Okay.
His ender for one of his parts recently was like he literally builds a ramp underneath a bridge and does a flip, but instead he like literally wall rides the roof. Does like
that's fucking cool.
You know, half flip, wall ride the roof to half flip out.
That shit is so dangerous.
It's ridiculous. And I'm like, how the fuck are you even gonna attempt that? Because like to me, like, you know, you got to figure out the perfect amount of speed where you can land on it and ride it for like, not even a second and
Yeah.
pull off of it.
Yeah, and like kind of have a little bit of a pop, like upside
like,
down pop doesn't make sense.
You can't just go into it and like, test it out. You have to go full speed and fucking
exactly.
go to roof ride.
Yeah, like if you want to hit the roof, you have to fucking juice it, which is like, there's no playing around on
It's
that
ridiculous.
shit.
Yeah, that guy is nuts. Another trick that doesn't make sense, to bring it back to BMX. Do you know Jeff Robertson?
Jeff, that name sounds really. Oh yeah, Jeff.
Big
yeah,
beard.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, shout out Jeff.
How the fuck does this guy do his downside hand plants? That trick blows my mind. I actually want to do like Jeff, if you're listening, because I know you are a listener of the show. I absolutely want to do a trick tutorial with him on how to do that, because I want to learn that trick so bad. So I'd like to just like, go to his house the one day, film him do it, and like film him talking about how to do it.
That'd be cool.
Because that is such an underrated trick that you see maybe like 5 people in the fucking world doing it. Like I literally can't name off anybody else other than Jeff that does that trick right now.
Yeah, that shit is really, really fucking cool. There's one
so
other
nuts.
dude in the
Jim
States
C.
Yeah.
Jim Selinsky, I think, does them.
Yeah. Swain is really good at them, like
Swain,
over stuff. Like that.
He's ridiculous, man. I gotta get him on the show too. I have his
he'd be a
name
good
down
dude
on
to
my list, but yeah, I saw a clip of him doing like a 180 one off of a loading dock.
Yeah. He does like really crazy shit.
What? Like it doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, I remember at one of the not metros, like the Toronto BMX jams or whatever, he did like a 360 downside hand plant over, or I guess it's just a regular hand plant at that point, but like he did a 360 hand plant over the like the hitching post.
Yeah.
And it was I've always wanted to do that trick. It looks so cool. But like I've never seen anyone else do it in real life, and it was like it was so smooth and good. And I mean, like he can do them over ledges and shit. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy, man.
Yeah,
that shit
really
is
cool
like
trick.
So gnarly.
It's a lot of upper body. I feel like you just gotta clench. That's why Jeff's good at it, probably.
Yeah, he's got all that fucking upper body strength from missing leg day.
Yeah,
just going constantly.
All that fucking.
He's always lifting like ridiculously heavy shit.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Crazy. Like it's just in his setup by himself, just like fucking 700 pounds.
Yeah, here's 700 pounds. Here's 2 420s. I'm like, what?
Just for the joke. It's so sick though.
Jeff's the best. That dude's fucking rad. He's gonna come on the show soon.
Yeah, that'd be an entertaining one for sure.
I know. I'm like, when I messaged him about it, he's like, well, what am I gonna talk about? I'm like, dude,
what else are you gonna talk
what
about?
do you fucking mean?
Everyone wants to know what Jeff's saying.
Yeah, exactly. Oh fuck. All right, let's see. So I like to get everybody's opinion on this. Over the last 10 years, BMX has been through a pretty big change. The internet and social media, like Instagram, have killed BMX magazines and DVDs, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, for the most part.
When I first heard about BMX Foo, it was because there was an article. I don't know what magazine it was, but they did an entire like couple-page article about BMX Foo and what it was.
I think it was either Ride or Albion.
I think it was Ride. It was Ride. Yeah, because I didn't own the other one.
It was a big deal. Like they had like a bunch of photos of everybody.
Yeah,
and stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah, I remember there was a photo of just everybody hanging out in somebody's garage.
Yeah, or Bell's garage. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really cool, man. But yeah, let's talk about why BMX DVDs and magazines are an important part of BMX and why people need to start like doing something for, I guess, the community that way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm obviously part of the whole like Instagram thing because it's you kind of can't be relevant without it these days, which is a bit annoying. But like you always got to be posting clips and doing this and that. But like obviously like the timelessness of having like a hard copy of a DVD or a magazine is like that'll never go away because like you can give that to your kids whenever you're older, or like you can bring it places. But like all these random clips that just get thrown up on the internet, like they don't have. I mean, some of them do obviously, like, but most of them don't have that longevity, and they kind of just get forgotten about the next day. But like if you have a DVD that you want to watch, like you'll put it in the VCR. Wow, you'll put it in the DVD player.
That's how far back we're talking, guys.
Again, I just dated myself. Yeah, like you'll put it in your computer and you'll watch it like a few times in a row and just like let it loop or whatever. And like it's more of an event, I guess, to like kind of like instead of just like I'm on my phone, like there's a new edit out. Like you're on your phone anyway, but like with a video or a magazine, you have to kind of sit down and like pay attention to it. So I feel like they have a little bit more of like I don't want to say staying power, but like it's just like it's a nicer feeling to have like a hard copy of something that you can like hold on to, and like especially in terms of like making videos, like as you probably know, like having a hard copy of a video that you made is like the coolest fucking feeling ever, or like that you're a part of or whatever. Like it's just it means so much more than just like like the videos on YouTube now. Like
Yeah.
that stuff it's cool, but it's like it doesn't have the same allure to me. Like it's not as exciting to like drop a web video as opposed to like, you know, a DVD part.
Well, I'll admit it too, you know, like with making BMX DVDs, my last one, which I'm just going to grab this quickly.
Hell yeah.
So this one, Space Goats for all your eyes to see. We worked 3 years on this.
Fuck yeah.
I edited every single day for about a year and a half. I would spend a minimum of half an hour a day editing.
Sick.
And by the end of it, I was doing 16-hour days editing for like a solid week, just trying to make sure it was done.
That's insane.
And like, I don't even think it's just the video that like, you know, just the case or whatever that makes it a thing. I got a booklet in there that's a good friend of mine designed. And then obviously, like, I don't know, I don't cheap out when it comes to this shit. I like all of my stuff to be like professional.
Dude, hell yeah. This is awesome.
But yeah, and like this kind of stuff where you throw in a booklet, like it cost me probably an extra $2 for every DVD to put that booklet in there.
Worth it.
But it was so worth it. Like everybody loved that. That was like,
yeah, this is fucking cool. Like this is high quality too.
Oh, of course.
And like all the dudes who are in the video, like they can have that, you know, like, and it's like, you know, it's not just a video. Like they have the cool little like printout thing too, which is wicked.
I'm like, it's such a cool feeling to, you know, make something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that like when it comes to, you know, making DVDs, when I say Instagram, I'm not talking about like, you know, posting, you know, just a clip of you riding that day.
Mm-hmm.
Do that. Absolutely do that.
For sure.
Absolutely.
That helps, yeah.
You have to post as much as you can on Instagram
mm-hmm.
to gain a following so that they'll watch your full length. You know what I mean? That was my
the frustrating part.
That's the thing. Like all of the clips that I post on my Instagram are like, you know, if they're of me, they're not very good. But if you watch my video part, you'd be like, I can't believe it. This dude actually fucking did this shit. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It's just because I don't like to post it. Like, I like to save it all. And,
yeah, you like to sit on it for a bit and like kind of collect something. Yeah, for sure.
And let me tell you, there is a different feeling when you put in so much effort. Like, we spent 3 years filming this. There's so much like shit that we went through. You know what I mean? We went everywhere. Like, we went to Montreal, Toronto. We tried to go as many places that we could to film.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's a different feeling when you finish it all. You have all the videos. You've booked a venue to like show everybody the video.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, we did ours at a place called Ace Ping Pong, and it's kind of cool. So like, the little ping pong lounge that sells like craft beer and whatnot.
Oh, fuck yeah, that sounds pretty BMX.
So we went there. Yeah, we went there, set everything up, and my first thought, and my thought for like, you know, a couple weeks before that, because this place cost me about $600 to rent out that night. My first thought was that nobody would fucking show up. Nobody would come.
That'd be such a bummer.
45 minutes after I've opened the doors, I can't let anybody else in. There's too many fucking people.
That's
like,
amazing.
It was such an incredible feeling, and it made me like truly feel loved. And that was one of my highlights of 2019. Was just that night was so incredible. And like, you know, you couldn't even. We had a couple bands come in and play, so I was using their like sound system for the actual video.
Oh, sick.
So loud.
Hell yeah.
You still couldn't fucking hear the audio because people were so stoked on the shit that we did.
Dude,
there was literally half the people there didn't even ride BMX. They were just there to like experience this with everybody that they knew. You know what I mean? And like they were cheering everybody on.
That's fucking awesome.
And I don't know, there's a different feeling when like you put that much work into something and you can really see it just that one night.
Yeah, it's
how
worth
much it pays
that.
off.
Like just like just the premieres, like those are so much fun.
Oh, of course. I sold out of my videos. Like this video sold out worldwide. I sent videos all over the world in 13 days.
Jesus,
and I'm like,
man.
I was gonna do another round, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw it online, and then people can watch it however they want. So I waited a couple months, threw it online. It doesn't even have 400 views online, and that's fine with me because it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, those experiences with all of my, you know, best friends and what we all did is way more to me than, you know,
like a view count or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's all Instagram is, you know, is like, it sucks when people post these ridiculous banger tricks that they've worked their whole life to actually do. They just send it right to Instagram. Sure, you get that fame for a couple days, but like,
then what?
Yeah, exactly.
Just,
a lot of the
do
times,
that again.
Like, I only know this kid's name because he sent quite a few bangers down El Toro, which is Adrian Shreds. That dude is nuts. But like, it's one of those things where most people don't know who that guy is. It's only because I'm so prevalent on Instagram and I try and be on it, you know?
Yeah. I feel like that stuff for him though, like like that wasn't him stressing, you know, which is fucking insane.
He did a double bar down El Toro.
Yeah, like that's.
I'm like, that's fucked.
I couldn't imagine even jumping. Like I've stood at the top of El Toro and you like can't see the bottom. Like it's fucking terrifying.
Oh man.
But like I feel like he was just like, yeah, whatever, I'll send it.
There's a 16 stair in town that I gapped for my first video, which is also called Fuck Asses because we were a bunch of fuck asses.
Hell yeah. That's tight.
It's like such a true shitty BMX video where it's like all of it was filmed on those 2 tape cameras to the side there.
Oh, sick.
Like fisheye for 90% of the clips. Terrible filming. I did not take pride in my filming at all when I did that. And then with Space Goats, I really like prided myself to make sure that everything was professional and that it was done right and the way that it should be.
Right, yeah.
So like the first video though, there's a 16 stair set in town, and this one night I fucking go there. My BSD frame that I had been riding for quite a while has a small crack halfway down the fucking...
You're not one of those guys, are you? Crack frame riders.
Oh, yeah.
That's
so it's got
scary.
a small crack on the down tube, like right near the gusset, I guess. And
like by the
I don't
head
know
tube?
why. Down tube. So right towards the top, by the head tube.
Yeah. Oh my God. That is the worst place for it to be cracked.
So... I get the bright idea to fucking jump down this 16 stair. Like, if I just land in a manual, I'll be okay. So that's what I do. Land in a manual. I hold the manual for like 10 feet, fucking drop the front end, and then just ditch the bike. I made it out, and then like everybody was like, oh, well, you should do it again and try and land a little better. I'm like, I'm never fucking doing this again.
No, fuck that, dude. That shit is scary. Also, it's like a huge dice roll, too.
I know. I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. I feel like such an idiot for doing that.
Because if you did get melted at that point, you're like, well, fuck, this is my fault. Like, I knew it was cracked.
I know. And I'm like, I was so stupid. I had one of those, like, ProTech full cut helmets that's not even certified.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah,
I really fucking, like, I really, dodged a bullet with that.
Tempted fate.
Yeah.
I mean, if it worked out, fuck it, that's sick. I'm sure we've all been in situations like that, and we just didn't know. But, like, fuck it, that's sick, though, that it worked out.
Oh, of course. It's pretty fucking crazy, man. But yeah, is there any clips like that for you that were just so crazy and so like, what was the most difficult thing you ever had to film, you think?
Difficult?
Like something that kind of fucked with your head, or like not even just something that like took you a lot of tries? Because I find that like for me, smaller tech shit, I fucking can't do it, man. I have to do the bigger stuff because it's one go. In and out, I can get it done. Whereas like the tech shit, I just get so frustrated and I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean that's usually the case. Like I don't do a lot of huge stuff, as most people know. Like more of my stuff is more technical and like kind of like it's just not really that scary. So like I don't really get too. I mean I definitely get spooked by stuff, but like I'm not like on the level that some people do. Like I don't have to huck myself down 20 sets or anything like that. So it's mostly just like I feel like I've been talking about this fucking clip for too long, but like I posted it yesterday, like that up over Abubakar down. Like that really fucked with me because it was 2 days, like 3 or 4 hours per day, and like it was really, and it was on a trip too. So like I was really trying to put on for the Vans video, and like I just wanted to get this done specifically, and like it fucked with me. Like I went home and I was like talking to my wife about it, and I was like, I need to get this done and shit. It was really funny.
All right, here we go.
I feel like people are sick of this clip now because I've just been plugging it.
It's so crazy though because like nobody does this. You know what I mean? Like that trick is so crazy. I feel like nobody can do that. Like obviously we have Corey Martinez doing it like 20 years ago, and then he did it recently for his X Games part.
Yeah, he's kind of the only dude that I can like look to for inspiration on that trick, which is kind of funny because like it's not necessarily like this one was really difficult for me because like it was all new territory, but like the up Abubakar down is not necessarily super difficult, especially on like smaller stuff. So it's like but like it's hard to like find someone that can like kind of make you push that trick because like you're kind of on your own. I
didn't even notice that you did it to over because I don't think Corey did that. I think he just did up foof other pegs. So you did it to over.
Like, so he was in between the rails, so we did like up switch. One of them was switch, I think. But like I didn't want to go fakey switch or go up the rail switch, so I just did straight over to. I wanted to get it higher, but I was having a lot of trouble getting my front peg on because I would jump and just like my front peg would just dip down and I would get shot to the fucking stairs. But I got lucky on that one and it worked out, and I will never fucking try that trick again.
Jesus. Oh man, that's so crazy.
It was
I can't
a fun
believe
one.
that you one-upped Corey Martinez with that fucking trick.
I don't know.
Fuck you, Corey.
Oh, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's the
I can't believe I
OG.
didn't notice that. I didn't notice that until right now. That's so
hilarious.
crazy.
Yeah, it was that one was a test of my willpower for sure. Like I was ready to fucking give. Like the second day we came back, I was like, like I said, I tried it for 3 or 4 hours the first day, and we left, and I was like, oh well, that's that. Fuck it. Maybe I'll try it in another 5 years or something. But Calvin and Mike were both like, yo, we're going back because we gotta like see you get that. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. So I ended up going back and wasting another 3 hours while other dudes tried stuff. You know, I would take a break for a little bit, and
that's so crazy. You pulled it so clean too when you did land it.
I mean, I smoked that fucking pole thing, and like I cut my arm really bad, and I was like, bleeding all over the place. But like I was like, there's no way I'm letting this go. Like I don't give a fuck if I have to like move this pole. Like I don't care.
That's so crazy, man. That's
Thanks,
like,
dude.
You can definitely tell that is one of the like craziest clips that you've done.
You can see the sweat. Like I was literally running on fumes, and like as soon as I landed it, because like it was on the van trip, so like as soon as I landed it, Dylan was like, all right, we got to go to Popeyes because you're in your protein deficit. Like we got to get you eating because you're gonna crash. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like I was just so out of it. But
oh man, Dylan Lloyd is so crazy.
Yeah, he's a fucking machine, and I've known that dude since he was a little kid, so it's been really, really cool.
Definitely skipped leg day for quite a while though.
I mean, you see his tail whips and you're like, maybe not.
Yeah,
like, he laser whips so fast, and like, but yeah, he's one of the obviously one of the best dudes in the world right now. So it's like it's really cool to like be actual friends with him, and like he's such a genuine dude. Like he's so like, you can just chat with him about anything, and like he's just super into cars too. So like the whole time we were just chatting about cars and stuff, and like he's the same kid that I met like back when he was like 12, 13. Like he's super down to earth. Nothing has gone to his head. Like he's super chill. So it was nice to like have kind of support and that kind of example on that trip, because him and Mike and I mean everybody, Justin, Kurt, Calvin, even like the film, like everybody went in. So it was just super nice to kind of just sit back and be like, wow, like just be inspired and motivated by like real like super pros. So it was a fucking crazy experience for sure. I had a good time.
Hell yeah, man. That's really cool. It's like, I don't know, there's something about when you like connect with, just riders. Because like for me, I always need to have like others around me when I'm going to do something big, because I know that they're going to love it. You know what I mean? And that's something that like when it's a battle for me, I like to have other people there to watch and really like help
support
me,
you. Yeah. It means a lot for sure. Like it's one thing to just like go out and try like set up a tripod and just like grill yourself, but like even if it's just a filmer being like, yo, you got this, like you got this, don't give up, and you're like, fuck, okay, and like it helps so much. So
I've told this story before, but in Space Goats, I actually have a friend of mine who he's my other friend. So Nick Weens, he's a BMX dude that I film with quite a bit. He had a part in Fuck Asses as well as in Space Goats.
Okay.
But his little brother Nathan's a skater. Nathan always like comes out with us. He's like just part of the crew, and he's a skater.
Sick. That's cool.
So I gave him a part in Space Goats, and when we did it, his banger is an ollie through this hole in a wall.
Jesus.
The hole in the wall is like literally, you can barely get through it when you're crouched. Like it's pretty small. I wish I had a photo of it, but we don't, because we did it just with him and I.
Mm-hmm.
And we went there 2 days in a row. It's over, I want to say 400 tries. And he landed it once, and I managed to get it, which is so crazy. Oh, God.
It's such a good feeling.
And, like, the ollie through it is so high. Like, I'm telling you right now, the hole sits as tall as this table.
So you got to pop the shit out of it.
And then it's, like, this wide. So you can't just, like, it's not just, like, this wide where you can just hop through it and get through it. You have to hold that height for at least, 6-8 inches, and then land on the other side.
Sounds like a parkour spot, like one of those ones that they dive through.
Absolutely.
It's fucking like, insane.
It's so weird that he did that. And like, I think any of the skaters in town, like half of them don't even know that happened.
Really?
And, like, it's so fucking crazy that he
wild.
Did that.
Has he posted it on Insta at all? Or speaking of Insta, fuck.
I think he used it as like a profile picture, but I don't think he's ever actually posted the clip.
Oh, that's crazy.
I think he should though, because it was such a cool clip. Like,
yeah, hell yeah.
And I was really proud of the way that I filmed it, because like when we first started out, I got like the front angle, so like he made it through, but then he bailed out, so then I just took that angle, went to the other side. That's the other thing. A lot of people don't know this, but Space Goats, the video I filmed, it's all done on one camera. There's no
crazy.
two angles. It's always done with just the one camera, just by me.
So a lot of stuff had to be like
redone or had to be faked.
Crazy.
So like we have a clip of Jesse where he does this huge 360 down this like, I don't know, 5 foot gap flat 5 set.
Okay.
Like pretty much into traffic. He does a 360 down it. So what we did is for the first one, like when he's trying it, when he's going for it, I always try and get the last angle where they're going to be landing it first. And then I'll get them to do it again or whatever. So with this one, he just went full speed at it. And then right when he was about to like gap the set, he just put his foot down, slid his bike. So then you cut that out in editing, obviously. And then it makes it look like, you know, you've got a top angle and then the bottom angle. We did that so much, like literally with everything. And it just makes the video look so much better. Like I wish that I would have filmed like, that was something I wanted to do, but I just never had time to do. Was I wanted to film and edit like a behind the scenes video. So it's like, okay, you've got the clip. Now we got to do this and just show off how much work we actually put into it. But yeah, I never bothered doing that. I might still, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's cool to see like people don't really know like all the stuff. Like even like filming with like Calvin and Joel and like all because those dudes have like a real vision.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
And they're like they know what they want before, you know, like you bring them to the spot and they're like, okay, this is what you want to do. Like I'm gonna film it this way. I want it to look this way. We're gonna get this kind of like Calvin specifically because he was shooting like super or like high whatever. 16 mil B-roll? Yeah, whatever that crazy weird camera is, like the 16 mil thing, I think. So like we had to like be pretty obvious because obviously like getting film for that thing is next to impossible.
So expensive.
Yeah, exactly. So we had to be like really specific about like the stuff that he wanted to get with that camera, and he had like I said he had a vision, and he was like, okay, we're gonna do this with this camera, we're gonna do that. Like it was just really cool. It's always nice to see and work with dudes who have that shit on lock because you're like, oh, I don't have to worry about the finished product because they're gonna do a good job.
Yeah.
As opposed to someone who's just like, oh yeah, like I'll just stand over here and flick my wrist kind of thing.
Yeah, it is always like for me, that was one of my top things is that like if I'm trying a trick and I can tell the person isn't filming right, I would get so fucking pissed.
Exactly.
And it's like I can't get mad because they don't have the same experience I have,
and they're out there filming.
They're helping. They're doing what they can. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, motherfucker, just do it right.
I know. And like, especially if it's something that you're stressing, you're like, I just don't want to fucking do this because like it's not gonna look good.
Yeah.
Like I have that all the time, and I'm like, not saying it, like I film with a lot of great dudes, so I'm not, you know, singling anyone out, but like definitely like, you know, like just if you're out and you like want to get a clip quickly and you're like, oh, just get one of your random buddies to hold your phone, and it's just you can tell that it's not where you want, and you're like, well, why am I doing? Fuck it, never mind.
Yeah. There's a Zach Gerber's filmer, Ryan Howard, is super underrated. That
is that
guy
the same
so
like
good.
rider Ryan Howard?
I think so, yeah.
Oh yeah, that dude is a fucking OG.
Yeah.
His shit is so good.
Yeah. Anyways, Ryan Howard, he films like a lot for Zach Gerber, and I had Zach on recently, and like
crazy.
just hearing like the stories from him, because like in my opinion, I would say that Zach Gerber is one of the best street riders of all time.
He's unbelievable.
He has so many different styles, right? Like he does the small tech shit and he does it really well. And then he can do like, you know, the moderate speed, like big gaps and shit, but he can do the biggest, gnarliest shit that like nobody's going to touch that. Like that front flip over the Brooklyn Bank Gap, nobody will ever top that.
No.
In my opinion, there's no trick you could ever do that would top that. Maybe if you backflipped it, but I don't think so, because I still think a front flip is crazier.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Because a backflip, yeah, you could probably do it, but like in my opinion, still
you gotta like commit to that front flip.
The
shit.
front
Like, you gotta
flip, you're literally throwing yourself forwards into the rail.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like there's
scary.
Absolutely nothing that'll ever top that.
The gap one he did was. I think that one was crazier because like the roof to roof gap one.
Yeah, the Wessel gap.
That shit is fucking crazy. Like you will die if you fuck that up. Like you will get fucking melted.
You can even watch the clip, and like he did a video by himself that he just uploaded about a year or two ago talking about that specific clip. And
okay.
In that video, he explains like, you know, the backstory behind it. They take all of the footage from like Ryan and everybody, and I guess that They were there for about 45 minutes. They drove across like 3 states to get there.
Fucking Jesus.
They get there and they're there for like an hour or so, and they just can't fucking figure it out. So they go out for breakfast, and then they come back, and the whole time Zach hasn't fucking eaten anything because he just can't. He's like that
super
nervous,
stressed. Yeah,
super stressed. He's like keeps doing run-ups, keeps gapping it. He can't fucking do it. Finally, he calls his dad, and he's like, "Dad, I'm at this fucking spot, and like I really want to do it, but I don't know. Like, I could fucking die. Like, this is so crazy."
Yeah, like legitimately die. It's fucking
His
insane.
dad is like, "Why don't you just do it, you pussy?" He's like,
Hell yeah.
he's like, "Well, thanks." Like,
oh, I got to do it now.
yeah. It's like, "Well, I guess, I'll call you back in a few minutes, and if you don't hear from me, then I fucked up." Like, so,
Oh my god.
he goes up, gaps it a couple more times, and then fucking sends it, pulls it. And like when he pulls it, obviously you've seen the clip, he lands so far down on the transition on the other side. And like, it's so gnarly to think that if he would have went one crank faster, that could have been the end, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's fucking terrifying.
and then like after he lands it, he does the normal BMX freak out.
Yeah.
And then he bikes right past the fucking filmers. They're like, "Yeah," he just bikes way
Just
past
gone.
them up to the top of the hill, grabs his phone, calls his parents. "I fucking pulled it."
Hell yeah, that's so sick, man. That's
Such
so
a
crazy.
good story. I'll try and link that in the bio if I can remember that. I'll
Yeah,
put
that'd be
at the
a
bottom.
cool watch, because that one always stood out to me too. Is like that one, and like the one in his most recent part, he does that like crazy rail to like drop.
Yeah.
That thing is fucking insane.
So we talked about that as well. There's another rider who rides for Daily Grind who actually did that rail before him.
Oh, no shit.
Here's the thing. The guy did it.
Who was
Normal side. Oh, I forget his name here. Let me pull this up. I have it on my notes here. So I got to give that guy a shout out because that was really cool. Mike Vatato, I think it is. I don't know if you know who that is.
I think I've seen his name before. It's like VITAOE or something
Yep.
like that. Yeah, okay, yeah, I know him.
So Mike did that first, but here's
Damn.
the thing. He did just pegs. So Zach went there and did nollie switch pegs on it.
Fuck that. like I
Like,
forgot
that
it was
is
nollie switch.
That's the thing. I'm like, because even in my notes here, I'm like, I think I had to change it last minute, but I had put, so in your newest full-length part, us/them, you did
That's
a
what it
nollie
is,
to
yeah.
pegs, and I had to put the nollie in there. And I was like, while doing research for the podcast, I found a clip of Mike Vatato doing the same rail. Who did it first? And he said that, like Mike had done it first.
Mm-hmm.
So like, shout out to him because that's a fucking crazy rail.
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
no
gnarly.
joke.
It's no joke at all. But like to think that he nollie pegs, like nollie switch pegs.
Yeah, like
That's
that shit's
fucked.
fucked up. Gerber's on another level. Like doing
He
stuff like that
seriously
is
is.
just not like, or even that like ledge, like up ledge to front flip he did.
Yeah.
Like it's not huge setup, but like what the fuck? Like
That
how are
doesn't
you
make any
front flipping out
sense.
of that? Out of a concrete ledge?
Yeah.
Like it's
And
insane.
like double peg, by the way. And I fucking
Yeah.
hate double pegs. Like when it comes to like doing a trick out or at least on a ledge,
Yeah,
double
yeah,
pegs
yeah.
are the worst. But yeah, I can't believe that he fucking did that.
Yeah, no, there's way too many like mind blowing Gerber clips out there.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about like, because I've always thought that he is like one of the best street riders in the world. And I always wonder why he's not like on another level or why he's not like more known. Because the
Right,
guy
yeah.
only has like 20,000 followers on Instagram. And I'm not saying that followers mean anything, but when you see dudes that like, no offense to Began, but it's like the guy does smaller stuff, which is fine. I love Began. I think Began has done so much for the BMX community and the scene and everything.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that when you see somebody like Gerber who's constantly sending the biggest, gnarliest shit,
Yeah.
how come people don't know about him? And we talked a little bit about it, and it's because Zach just has that fuck you kind of attitude where he doesn't care. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
want,
like,
yeah, he's like, I don't fucking want to be like, the most known person in BMX. I don't care about that. I
Yeah,
just want to
for
do the
sure.
shit that I do.
Mhm.
So,
which
it's
is
really
super
cool.
admirable, like to hear that. Like it's
Yeah.
nice to hear that people are like not super worried about like like getting
Being the
their
top guy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Which would be the most stressful thing to be worried about too. Like, are you like, who the fuck cares? There's always going to be some random Russian kid that's better than you anyway. So,
Yeah, right?
like at the end of the day, like there's going to be some random kid who will dust you on anything. So it's
Yeah.
like, who the fuck cares anymore?
Oh man, so you're a tie ride guy. Let's talk about Russian guy. Max, I forget his last name.
Max and Igor Bispali.
Yep.
Yeah, those dudes are wild.
Yeah, those guys are nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Max has a clip in his one Stress BMX part, which I don't know if you know what Stress is. It's a BMX company from Russia.
Yeah.
He has a clip where he does a tire ride down this like mellow but huge like 11 stair handicap 11 stair
Into the next one.
Into the next one, so gap to tire ride the next one,
and it's like into like a tunnel almost.
Into a tunnel. He actually has to duck like under the fucking thing on the rail. Like that's so crazy.
Yeah, he's super good.
That clip to me is still one of the craziest clips in BMX because I don't think that people really understand. Like if they went there and saw that, they would be fucking mind blown at how gnarly that setup is.
It's crazy. Like any kind of tire ride on a real rail is like no fucking like people don't like really take it in, but it's like you're riding your bicycle on a round rail, like on a, like down a hand, like that. It should not be possible.
So a little disclaimer: it was a flat rail that he did it on.
Oh right,
but it's two of them and it's a gap to it.
Yeah,
and they're they're no fucking wider than that.
Yeah, no, it might as well be fucking round at that point. But like like it's anything like that, like any kind of real handrail that you're riding on top of and not grinding is like it's fucked up.
And I think I heard that he did it in like less than 3 tries, which I'm like, yeah, that's Russia.
Yeah, those
fucking what the
those
hell?
guys are on something else. Like they're so fucking good. It's unbelievable. Like it doesn't make sense.
His brother Igor did like a really cool tire ride down this like gnarly fucking kinked wooden rail too.
Yeah. That's
like those guys are so good when it comes to tire rides.
Huge feebles too.
Yeah,
like,
huge feebles.
feebles.
So let's talk about the tire ride because this is a trick that you're pretty good at, actually.
Well, I mean, I'm not like Ellis level or anything, but I try. I'm not as good at it anymore, but I try and do it every once in a while.
So let's see here. I'm gonna pull this up.
Oh shit! Shout out Navaz.
Yeah, this clip is really cool. Here we go. Let's see. So I'll restart it for all you watching.
It is at a skate park, so it is less legit than I would like, but hey.
So, how did you start getting into doing tire ride? And like, because for me, I can't fucking tire ride. I've tried. I suck at it. I'm terrible at it. I would assume that you doing tire rides has something to do with the fact that you were more of a trials rider when you first started.
Honestly, like it must be because like I grew like whenever I was coming up riding trials, like you know, we'd had videos like Ryan Leach's Manifesto and shit, or like Craig Lee Scott riding along a chain or something. And I was like, oh, that's just kind of what people do. Like, that's just what you have to get used to doing if you want to be a trials rider. And then, like, I started riding BMX, and then I got into it, like, just kind of trying to do them a little bit faster. Because obviously everything in trials is so static, and you're not, like, riding at a rail. Like, you're kind of beside it, and you hop up onto it.
Yeah.
But, like, I started doing them at little skate park, or, like, on little skate park rails and stuff. And eventually just kind of... I've only done one, like, actually, it's questionable if it was an actual rail, but, like, I mostly just do them on flat rails and stuff. But, yeah, like, it's one of those ones that, like, it still surprises me whenever I land in a tires because I'm not expecting it. And, like, it feels really weird when you're, like, on top of the rail and you can kind of steer a little bit. Like, it's fucked up, but, like, it's definitely not one that I'm, like, super comfortable with by any means.
Yeah. Tire rides to me just make zero sense. And, like, I've tried... like we have a flat rail at the local park that I always ride that's just like literally just flat top square rail, and I tried to do tires to whip on it the one day, and it's like, you know, I've seen, because when I was at All In, this is when Dean Hartley used to ride All In a lot.
What up,
Dean? He was trying to do, I filmed a clip of him, he's trying to do like tires on the round rail to whip out, and it's like, if you aren't in the exact center of the fucking rail, you're 100% gonna like push down for the whip or like get ready to pop, and it's just gonna fucking slide down the side. And if you don't have pegs, you're eating it.
Yeah, it's the worst. I did that the other day actually playing a game of Bike at Joyride, and I went to just like 180 off of a tire ride, and I just did that, and I body bagged so fucking hard.
It's the worst because there's no way that you can save it.
Yeah, no, not at all. Like you're basically pushing it to do that. Like, you can't come back from that.
Oh, it's such a like scary fucking trick, man.
Yeah, I don't fuck with it too often. Like the first time I saw, I think it was like a ride cover of Liam Fay Hampton doing it, like on a legitimate round handrail. I thought it was photoshopped. I was like, this isn't real. Like people can't do that. So
crazy.
Shit. Yeah, and it's fucked. But like, we were in Austin this past winter, riding with Dan and Daryl, and Dan filmed that tire ride from his X Games part, and we got to like see that, and like watching him do that was just the craziest fucking thing because like he just fielded it a couple times and just hopped on, and it was like they're so quiet too, which is like the coolest thing.
Conway?
Collar,
that's what it is.
Yes.
Collar, there we go.
Yeah, he it was funny actually because he used some of the brake
grease?
tartar because he was like, this thing is too slick, so I was like, just put a little bit of that on there, and
There
like
you go.
it worked. But obviously if he dropped the pegs he would have died. But
Jesus.
no, it worked out though. It was a really cool thing to see.
Hell yeah. That's just so gnarly, man. I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's insane.
I'm trying to think if anybody's ever done Tire Ride to Decade. I don't know who would have done it though. I'm like, because who really does decades nowadays? That like, I mean, obviously Jason Watts. But
yeah, if anyone would have done it, it probably would have been that Daniel Tunte kid from Germany, who rode for KHE.
Yeah,
because he could do like mad like street decade shit.
That's so crazy.
Yeah,
decades
really
just
good.
like don't make any sense to me. I don't know why they don't make any sense to me. But even last week, like, you know, Escamilla and I were talking, and he's like, you know, you see these kids calling it a 360 down whip when it's just a decade. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think it's like, it's a really hard argument because it looks different when it's a 3 down whip.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I feel like it's
or a 3
more...
double down whip, he said, was like, it's pretty much just a fucking decade. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, though.
I feel like the three down whips are a little bit more like your arms are a little bit more involved, whereas a decade, like, you're just kind of in a ball rotating.
Yeah.
Like, I could see where they're like, it's definitely like a hard one to like, you know,
wrap your head around.
Yeah, I'm sure people would be like, oh, it's this or that, but like,
yeah,
if you're doing either of those tricks, then fucking props to you because that shit is gnarly.
Yeah, it's
regardless
so
of what the fuck it's called.
Oh man. Yeah. So I've got a photo here that I'd love some backstory on.
Fuck, so. What photo is it?
It's nothing bad.
We will. Oh shit! Fuck. This photo.
This is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got the CN Tower in the background. You got the waterfront here. I forget who shot the photo.
That'd be Trent Barker.
That's what I thought.
What up, Trent, my boy? This is a funny one actually because as most people know who have seen this spot before, like this spot got blown the fuck out so fast.
I was gonna say, how the fuck did this actually exist? There's just a vert wall.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing there. There's just a vert wall. I'm like, it's so crazy that that's just there.
It's really bizarre. So like I was on, I used to ride for a jewelry company, and they had like rented out this yacht for like a cruise thing or some shit. So I was like I was in the water on the boat, and like I was just sitting there with my wife looking around, and then like I noticed this thing on the side like by that dome, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like that looks like a quarter pipe. So like I looked at it like real close, and I was like, that's a fucking quarter pipe. So I locked it into my brain, and then whenever we got back a couple days later, I was like, I need to go check this thing out. So we went and I don't know if we went and checked it out first, or I told the crew about it first, but we had brought a couple people there, and like we brought Navaz there obviously because this was whenever the Merrick guys were in town. So like he came and he filmed a couple things on that, but somehow someone found out about it through one of us and brought people to it before we could release the footage.
Shit.
So it got like fucking like blown up super fast, and
yeah.
And it broke my heart because like this was like a holy grail spot. Like you don't find shit like that. So I think what it was it was a piece of like an extreme ninja warrior, you know, those obstacle course things.
Yeah.
So like dudes would have to run, or people would have to run up and like grab the rope at the top or whatever. So I think that's what it was. But it's, as you can see, like it's a perfect vert wall. Like it felt unbelievably good. But yeah, like so somebody specific posted it and was like, oh yeah, this is that spot. And like people freaked out because obviously it's a fucking insane spot.
Yeah.
And then kids started going there. And by that point, like our footage, like it didn't, because we were waiting for the Merit video to come out. So like we seemed like we were the last ones to kind of get there. But like I found that fucking spot, and it's like I'm kind of like, that one kind of chops my ass a little bit, but I mean, like, it is what it is. Who the fuck cares at the end of the day? Like, as long as people had fun on it, then whatever. But like, yeah, that was definitely a dream spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, to me, it just doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean? Like, I guarantee you told everybody, like, guys, there's a fucking vert wall behind this thing. Like, it's on the water. They're probably like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Yeah, they're like, are you stupid? Like, there's not like
a
real
fucking vert wall. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
like, why is that there?
Yeah.
Like, the transition on it, like, it was a fucking skate park ramp, and I just, like, happened to look the right direction and see it. But like, it's really unbelievable. Like, if someone told me about that, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Like, there's nothing like that here.
I love, like, was the plywood there when you got there?
Yeah, it was, thankfully.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so like there was just like scrap shit all over that area. So we just kind of hobbled together like this. The run in is terrible because obviously you have to ride beside the water and then turn in really hard.
Yeah.
But it's still like, it's worth it for that spot. So
That's such a cool, like, spot, I've got a spot I got to show you afterwards, a clip of my buddy. He does a flare on it. It's like literally a fence, like a chain link fence that somebody had just thrown a bunch of their fucking it's like at a factory. So
okay, yeah.
Somebody had thrown a bunch of this like random shit that's not even, it's not plywood. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. I think they use it on the tops of the roof on like flat buildings.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, they had thrown a bunch of it in this like big pile. And for years I saw it and I was like, this is totally something. Like there's got to be something there. So we go there and we set everything up, and we are idiots and we brought a drill. We brought everything to like, do it all.
Yeah.
3 screws. That's it. Only 3 fucking screws. Like, oh, for fuck's sakes. So we use our 3 screws to screw everything together. And sure enough, on the first attempt, breaks all 3 of them.
Fucking
it's like,
Jesus.
Motherfucker.
That's
So
such a bummer.
we were like, okay, well, we could probably just come back another day and do it. But I'm like, we're already here. We already have the camera rolling. We've already filmed a bunch of B-roll. Like,
Might as
I
well
had
get
filmed an
something.
entire time lapse of us essentially building it. And like, we're in very specific clothes. If we come back for this, we're going to have to wear the same things. And
Right, yeah.
Lights got to be the same. Just because I'm a bitch like that.
Continuity, man.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, fucking after about 20 tries, he finally flares this
That's
thing.
fucking
And it's
insane.
seriously like the tightest transition. It's almost like the joyrides in the street section have that like little quarter to vert wall
Oh,
thing.
the one beside the bank to sub?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's impossible to
It's
ride.
Sort of like that, and he flared it.
That's
and like,
fucking insane.
it's ridiculous. I tried to air it after we filmed it. I'm like, I almost ate shit. I'm like, all right, I'm not down. I'm gonna put that on here because I gotta show you that after. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see. I always love a good street flare.
It's so gnarly. I'm like, I can't believe he hasn't posted it. I'm like, fucking post this shit,
Yeah,
man.
that's
You're
wild.
fine. It's been years.
That
Well,
would
not
be
years,
cool
but
to
it's been
see.
about a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did the tires to whip, the quarter pipe. We talked about, you were at the Merritt House recently.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this brake tartar. So how did this come about? And let's, here, I'll show this
Yeah.
off to the camera.
Sorry about the dented ass tin, but
Oh, I should probably make my screen bigger. Here. There we go. I think I'm holding it right.
yeah, no, it's
there we
perfect.
go. All right, so do you mind if I open this? I
No,
just want
go
to
ahead,
look
go
at
ahead,
it.
yeah.
So.
That's yours if you want it, man. Also,
Oh, fuck yeah!
it's
I've been meaning to grab this
Oh,
stuff.
dude, hell yeah,
so
no, yeah, that's all you.
How does this work, and what is it?
Okay, so this isn't, just so everyone knows, this is not like I didn't come up with this.
Okay.
This is an old trials trick. It's basically roofing tar or like coal pitch tar. So like the shit that they mix with asphalt to like lay down and stuff. So it's like it basically looks like a black glass brick.
Yeah.
And it like cracks off pretty easily. So yeah, it's just like trials dudes would always rub it on their machined rims because it gives you that instant lock.
Yeah.
It's better than I find it's better than like a chrome rim and simple green because it clamps like you. I've never really had to worry about my brakes slipping if I use tar. So
Yeah.
it's like just it's peace of mind, and it allows you to do tricks that you wouldn't normally be able to do. Just because like your brake, like you can really rely. It's basically like a hydraulic disc brake at that point.
Hell yeah.
Like it just like snap and like it hits and like it doesn't move. It's just really really good. So like if you were ever to try and like if you ever tried in like 5 Hurricane something and like that like slip whenever you push out of it and it like you can kind of feel it.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't happen.
To say that's like, it sounds so dumb, but I ride a chrome rim with clear pads and they still slip.
That's
I don't know if
crazy.
it's just that like it's got to be something to do with the way that I run my brakes, but I'm so particular that I need them to be that way where it's like literally 2 millimeters and it's locked. I don't know why I'm like that.
Oh, you don't have much throw, eh?
No, I don't. I
Oh,
keep
that's
it like
crazy.
so tight because if I have more throw, I just can't do it, man. I don't know why. I don't like it. I need it to be absolute like you pull the slightest bit on it and it'll lock up.
Right, yeah,
I don't know why. It's just how I am. But Yeah, I'm excited to fucking use some of this shit, man. So,
Yeah, it's
does it work well on chrome rims at all? I'm gonna get a new wheel set this winter, anyways.
It does, but it doesn't look the greatest on chrome rims, obviously.
I don't know.
But yeah, no, it definitely works really well. But like, I know like Charlie uses it.
He uses like, does he use that stuff?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
Okay.
all the dudes use it. Like Charlie, Greg.
Oh, yeah, Greg runs brakes.
Yeah, I mean, like I guess anyone who has a brake, like I try and get it too. Like I sent Bobby some. I sent Bad Maddie some.
Yeah.
Fucking Bad Maddie is another dude.
Nuts.
Unfucking believable.
We were talking about him last week, actually. Like
Oh, no
Escamilla.
shit.
I was like, I don't know if you know who Bad Maddie is. He's like, yeah, he's fucking sick.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool.
Yeah, Maddie's a G too. Like he's a fucking awesome dude. Like super chill, but like I feel like me and him like really get along in terms of like how our riding is. So like he'll do something and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'll do something. And he's like, yo, that's sick. But like I'm like, yo, you just did something like 10 times crazier. But like it's just what we're used to, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's every time we get to hang out, it's like super super cool.
He did a really cool wall tap on a tree, like back into something years ago.
He did some
so gnarly.
Like that 5 tap he did on like a round skate park rail.
Yeah.
Like that I don't fucking understand that, and like that's
So
some of the
gnarly.
craziest shit. But yeah, no, he's fucking awesome and he loves it too. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really good stuff.
Yeah, that dude's really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm really excited to use this, man. I bet that this is gonna really bring the brake game up. My thing is like I always used like Coca-Cola is a really good trick, or just something really sugary. But the only problem is that
They stick.
whenever they do stick, but whenever the weather gets like kind of humid, they just don't work at all.
Right,
Like
yeah,
my brakes
yeah.
literally just wouldn't work. I'd be riding home and have to use my feet because I just can't use my brakes.
Yeah. And it's like it's messy too because it's like you're pouring fucking sugar on your bike.
Oh, it
which is
looks
super
so
annoying.
bad. Like your tires always had like dust and grease and gross shit on them.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, exactly. So like this stuff is like it's like you just put it on, and it's like obviously it's hard, so you just like hold it on lightly. You don't have to press in really hard. Like you just put a
Nice.
little bit on the rim. And I usually like my thing is like I don't keep it on all the time because it still does make a bit of noise. But like say if you like go to a spot and you want to try a brake trick, like I'll just put it on there, so like I don't have to worry about like my brakes squealing like fucking crazy, which is kind of nice. So it like wears off after about 15-20 minutes, especially if you're like trying to film something. Like with that up Abubakar over thing, like that was probably one of the only times where it started to fail me. But I mean, like I was doing it, I tried it hundreds of times, so like my rim was just heat soaked, I think. But, but yeah, like it's just it's not permanent, which is really nice. It does the trick. It it gets you that kind of peace of mind when it comes to scary brake shit. So like it's just I love it, and it's cool to like be able to obviously we don't sell a whole ton of them, but like it's cool to just be able to hook dudes up because it's just a chunk of tar. So
yeah, that's just really cool, man. Thank you for that.
Oh, dude, hell yeah.
I've been meaning to buy it for like so long,
Nah,
but
fuck
then it
that.
always
Don't worry
just
about
slips out
that.
my mind. I'll 100% buy a tin from you at some point, though. Don't worry. So
I got to get more stickers made because right now we just have the like I just
so
have a bunch
cool.
of tins and a bunch of tar, but no stickers. So I've just been like fuck it, like giving people chunks and shit. So
there you go.
hell yeah.
Oh fuck! Did you want a beer? I feel like a dick. I haven't offered you one.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
Cool. I'm a craft beer guy. Do you like craft beer at all?
yeah,
or no?
I don't give a shit, man. Whatever. Thanks, dude.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries.
Do you like stouts or IPAs? Do you know
Dealer's
what-
choice.
Let's see. This one's kind of good.
All right.
If you don't like it, I'll totally just trade you. I'll
Oh, no,
take a
dude,
sip
it's all
of it,
good.
but-
I'll drink whatever.
Cool.
I'm not very discerning when it comes to alcohol.
Yeah, sorry, man. I feel like a dick.
No, dude, it's all good. No worries, no worries.
Alrighty.
Hell yeah, cheers, dude. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Cheers.
Oh, that's not bad. Oh, it's kind of coffee, eh?
Yeah, that one's interesting, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So, best city for street in your opinion. So, if you didn't know this, there's a video on YouTube from years ago. I think it's the Primo Strange Crew video.
Yep.
Primo Strange Crew is
Waterloo.
all filmed in Waterloo, Kitchener, Guelph, Toronto.
Mhm.
Has riders like Heaton, who actually grew up in Woodstock but now lives in Kitchener.
Yep.
Dak,
Nathan
Williams,
Nair.
Corey Martinez, I
Yep.
believe. Some of the
Dan
like,
Lacey was on that
Dan
trip,
Lacey.
too.
Some of the biggest names in BMX right now were on this like video.
Yeah, it's insane because they came through the warehouse on
At
that
Core,
trip too.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to like ride with all those dudes, and it was like kind of fucked up because we're like these guys are serious pros, and like they just came through for a session. Like it was really weird. Not
Hell
weird,
yeah.
but like it was like a trip to be riding with these guys.
Oh, of course, right?
It was cool though.
So let's see. Best city for street in your opinion. My opinion, I truly believe that our hometown of Kitchener, as much as like we have filmed everything, we have destroyed everything. There's so many spots that have been like capped or taken out just because
Really?
like people have been riding them. Like there was one spot in particular that was like seriously the greatest ledge spot ever. And I knew that it was going to get capped like instantly. When it was built, I was like, this place is going to get capped. When it got built, it didn't.
What the fuck?
And here's the thing. It only lasted 2 weeks. And I knew that it was going to happen because a lot of the times they'll send in different contractors to come in and just install those things really quickly.
Right. Which seems stupid. Like,
Yeah,
just
it
build
does.
it in there if you're going to do it.
I know. But anyways, this really crazy ledge. It's like a giant curve ledge. It's probably like 75 feet long. I'm not shitting you. Like the perfect height for a BMX ledge. I ended up taking an entire jam of people. I throw jams every year.
Oh, no
I took
way.
an entire jam of people there because I knew that that spot wasn't going to be around for long. And
that's generous of you.
dude, the fucking shit that went down that day is ridiculous. And if you go there to this day, there's like, you can see all the chunks out of the ledge. Because I don't know if you know, his name's Andrew. I forget how to pronounce his last name, but he's from Hamilton. Big boy. Big
Andrew.
boy. He's part of like, what do they call it? Steamed hams, I think is their like.
Oh shit! Not so breakless. Yeah.
So he basically fucking was trying to ice the whole thing. The guy's a big boy. He like literally was chipping up all the shit.
And you're like,
I know it's so bad, but like it was so cool.
Hell yeah, that's sick, dude.
And like the year before that, there's this spot that's like super legendary. If I showed you a photo, you'd probably have seen it before.
Is it
It's
that
called
bank to the
bank to wall or bank to sub?
I was saying the bank to rail with there's like a bank to rail
that's
and the rail
Cortland,
beside
yeah.
it. Okay.
Cortland is super legendary. This one's really close. It's a bank to wall ride. And anyways, there's a ladder that the church installed on the wall to try and stop people from riding it. But here's the thing. We just went there and started riding the ladder.
Right. So you can like bump it and shit? Or?
Yeah. Well, Drew came in and went off the bank to ice pick on the top of it.
Fuck yeah.
And
That's
I'm like,
sick.
this is so crazy. But anyways, that spot, it's like, crazy local wall ride spot. That's insane. But yeah, anyways, what is your opinion on the best city for street? I think it varies between riders. Like me, it's got to be Kitchener or it's got to be Montreal. Like they're both insane.
First thing, I'm going to have to come and ride Kitchener
Please,
more.
Please let me know. When you come to town, just let me know. Give me a couple days notice, and I will 100% clear my schedule, and we'll go ride.
Dude, that'd be so sick. Because every time I come see my mom, I just leave and like kind of pedal around for a bit, and I'm just like, fuck, like there's stuff like a block from her house. Like there must be stuff here.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, you're gonna be blown away at how much shit there actually is. There's some of the the craziest little ledge shit, but there's also some of the biggest stuff. Like I could take you to all the spots that those like dudes did in the Strange Crew video. Absolutely, you would see every single spot they rode.
Okay, I might have to take you. I'm going to take you up on that. Not might have to.
Hell yeah.
It's really hard for me because like I don't know. I don't think that I ride as like the same spots that most dudes like to ride. Like I like to ride like weird random sub shit and like angled rails and stuff. But like Montreal is definitely up there for sure. I have to say Toronto because it's as much as like as jaded as I am on riding Toronto street, like it's really really good and I really enjoy riding Toronto. What else is really good?
Toronto has a really good scene too. I think it's because like obviously the city is huge. It's way bigger than Kitchener, but like
yeah, I mean you'd be surprised, dude. Like
yeah,
the scene is very it has been fragmented for a long time. Like it's like there's like the Six Tape Dudes, so like we cruise, but then there's obviously like ICC, there's Goon Squad, there's Sus Crew, there's a bunch of other like we all obviously like whatever, but it's like there's so many different things happening at once, and like there's so much area that people can ride in. Like I see kids downtown all the time on bikes, and I'm just like, I don't know who you are, and like I'll wave, and they'll just keep going.
You know what's funny about that? About probably last summer before that, I was out riding with a good friend of mine. He's an older guy, Andrew Barker.
Mm-hmm.
We fucking saw you, filmer bag and all, bike pass, gave a good old wave, and I knew instantly who you were.
No shit.
Yeah, you were like
Okay.
maybe half a block up, but you were going like this way. We were going this way. You saw, waved.
Hell
Like
yeah.
that is so cool, man.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's sick. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I figured I had to tell you that. But
That's so funny. Yeah, anytime I see like on like 20-inch wheels, what's up? Like I don't give a fuck who's on it.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like some of the kids, like I'm not, like who knows? Like I would be weirded out if some random dude was waving at me too. But like they're always just
Oh,
like,
I was down. I was like, that's so cool. I'm like, I knew exactly what it was. I was like, I fucking know that guy.
and that's the thing about BMX is like, regardless of how many people get into it, I feel like it's still on the small side of things. So it's like if you're on a BMX, like you're part of something. So it's
Yeah.
like, like I'm gonna say hi to you and I'm gonna try and be friendly to you and whatever.
Oh man, that's so true. Here's a really good story that I've told on the podcast about a gazillion times in the last 20 episodes. But so this past summer, a friend of mine that I had never met before, basically,
Like internet friend?
yeah, internet friend that I had met through Neil Fraser, who's a writer for Ride UK magazine.
Oh, sick. Okay.
So, to go way back, Neil used to share my stuff online quite a bit. And like, I talk to him all the time. He's a really cool guy. I really, really like Neil. He's like, top quality person, like
Sick.
really, really cool. Anyways, he hits me up probably in like May of 2019. It's like, hey man, I have a buddy of mine that I know just through like, online BMX stuff. And he's buying an RV and him and his girlfriend are going to come to Canada. Like you guys should try and meet up. Here, I'll link you guys together in a group chat.
It's not Mark,
So-
is it?
No,
Okay,
it's this guy named Ben Murphy. So he's from Ireland
Okay.
originally, and then moved to the UK, lived there with Jess for a little while, and then moved to Canada with their RV.
Oh, sick.
So he, we talked for a little bit, like 6 weeks goes by with no message. He's like, hey, we just landed in Canada. Like, we're going to go out east first, and then we'll come out to you afterwards on our way back.
Mhm.
So, like, he gives me the dates. I'm like, cool. So, yeah, we'll meet up these days. Sure enough, fucking a couple weeks later, here he is.
That's
sitting
sick.
at my door, like RV parked in the driveway. Hey, man, how's it going?
I'm here.
Ben, he stayed in Kitchener for the whole weekend. He Taylor and I literally left the house with him and Jess just here making us dinner.
That's
like
sick.
absolutely, completely trusted him,
Mhm.
100%. And dude, I gotta say, BMX is so fucking cool that like you can go and message pretty much anybody and be like, hey, I want to do something like with this, and
Yeah.
they'll absolutely do it, which
Yeah.
is so cool in my mind.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a special group of people. Like it's such an inclusive sport. Like it's
Yeah.
like it's one thing. Yeah, we're like a bunch of like gnarly tough dudes or whatever. But like in terms of like support and shit like that, like I've never experienced such a serious group of supportive people. Like anything you want to do, like everyone's super supportive and super helpful, and like it's just positive energy all the time. Like there's
Yeah.
rarely any beef, and like it's just such a cool thing to be a part of because it's so niche and so. Like it's such a weird, like BMX is a bizarre thing if you think about it. Like it's just like you're just riding this weird little bike around. Like they're kind of expensive, so a lot of people are like, I don't really want to get into that. But like the people who get into it are like they get hooked, and then you're just automatically part of this giant family, which is like such a good feeling.
Oh, of course.
Because like like, we can hit up anybody on any continent that rides, and they'll be like, hell yeah, come through. Like let's hang out. Like I got you for you, and like that shit is cool. Like not many. I feel like football people don't have that. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, dude,
or they
you
might.
can't-
I don't know.
You can't just message some fucking football dude like, hey, I love football.
Yeah,
I'm from
exactly.
Canada. You're from Texas. Let me come stay at your house for a
He's like,
weekend.
why? Like we're
Like-
gonna go like play. It's just
Yeah.
so weird. Like it's such a bizarre dynamic. Or even like whenever like I get lucky enough to talk to like huge pros and shit like that. Like it's like just being like it's kind of equivalent to like just hitting up like Wayne Gretzky or something. You know what I mean? Like just
Dude.
legends, and you're like, oh yeah, what's up, dude?
I was so fucking nervous last week because it's like I had to wait all day because the only time that Mike could do it is like 9 p.m., which
Mhm.
is actually midnight here, 9 p.m.
shit,
LA
right,
time.
Okay.
So like I'm, stressing all day. I'm fucking so nervous, and like even to this day, I think that I did such a terrible job because like
I'm
I
sure it
was
was
so I know I'm like he posted it quite a few times, and he
Oh,
was
fuck
like
yeah,
a lot of
that's
people were
sick.
like that was really good. I'm like I did so bad. Like what do you mean? But anyways, dude, I think that just it's really cool that BMX we can do that kind of shit where like you can just hit somebody up and they'll like, like we said earlier, Mike's a fucking legend. I cannot believe like, even to me, the fact that like I was able to send you a message and you're like, yeah, for sure, I'll come through. Like you drove 2 hours just to get here today and hang out with me.
I mean, yeah, it was worth
We've
it.
never met before. I'm like, this is so cool. It's, like,
It's fucking awesome, man, for sure.
it's BMX.
Yeah, it's
That's
a really
what I
hard
love
thing
about
to explain to people too, because you're like, oh, it's just like everyone's just a family. Like we were talking about it on the way back from Jersey the other day. So it was like me, Joel, Greg, and Charlie, and like Charlie was just like, oh, I'm just gonna FaceTime Biz real quick, and like after the call, Greg was like, isn't that fucked? Like that's basically just like FaceTiming Bobby Orr, like just like a fucking OG, and you're just like, oh, what's up, dude? And like that's like. That's fucking insane. Like the fact that like our
Yeah, I had to get Biz on here. That'd be really
that'd
cool.
be a fucking awesome one. He's a
his name
dude.
down.
He's the fucking man for sure. But yeah, it's like it's so weird that like all of the people that like we really look up to, like the leaders of the sport, are so approachable and so like I'm sure we could talk to Nathan. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Just be like, yo, what's up, man? Your shit's cool. He'd be like, oh, thanks, man. Like. That's unheard of in any other sport, you know what I mean? Like I feel like even skateboarding is too big for that because there's like millions of skateboarders. But like
that's the thing. Like there's so many skaters, and that's what I love about BMX too, is that it's small and like I hate to keep bringing up Escamilla, but we talked about this last week. It is, and we talked about it last week. I was like, why do you think that BMX isn't as big as skateboarding? And he was saying, like it has its pros and cons to being a smaller sport. The pros being like everybody that's into it fucking loves it.
Yeah, they're doing it because they need to do it.
Yeah. Whereas like with skateboarding, you can't go into a fucking mall and not see a skate shop.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
Like a Zoomies or a West or some nonsense.
Yeah, I used to work at West 49. That's actually
I used to want to work at West 49.
Yeah, that's actually how my girlfriend and I met.
Oh, nice. That's
basically, got this watch 80% off. Woo! Got her clothes 100% off.
Wow. Hilarious.
Oh, she
Deals
hates
for
that
days.
jokes. She hates that joke.
That's fucking hilarious. That's funny.
Oh man, no, this is really cool. But yeah, like I don't know, that's one of my things. Whereas like BMX is so cool because of that.
Yeah, it's
like it's such a small thing.
Yeah, it's a really nice thing to be a part of, and like I always feel so blessed that like this was what I was lucky enough to fall into. Because like even with mountain biking and shit, like mountain biking is kind of different because it's like it's got the whole actual mountain biking side of things. So there's like billions of people who ride like cross country and downhill and all that shit. So it's like, but with BMX, it's like it's such a specific niche thing. And like I said, if I see somebody on a bike that I know, I'm like, yo, you're a homie, come through. What's up? Like that's all I need to know is like you ride BMX. That's cool. We're good.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, obviously there's still shitty people in BMX, but like for the most part,
I think that like the number, it's kind of with anything. You know what I mean? You can't have one thing that doesn't have that fucking douchey person in it.
Of course,
and like,
yeah.
I don't know. At the end of the day, to me, it's like I might not like you as a person, but I'll like you as a rider. Like no matter
exactly.
what, I'll love what you do. I'll love the way you ride. I have fucking so many names in my head right now where I'm like, but like at the end of the day, I would still absolutely invite them to come on here and talk with me because I just want to hear their story.
Yeah.
Like whether they're a shitty person or not.
Yeah.
But,
and you can have like that common ground where like,
yeah,
like rails and tricks and grinds and all that. Like it's just like it's a nice language to speak with people.
You know what? What was really interesting is I had Dustin Lee on here, and not to say that he's like a hated person or anything like that, but Dustin used to run Rodeo Peanut.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, we came on and he talked a little bit about like, he feels bad about what he said for a lot of things and a lot of people. And
Rodeo
like,
Peanut was sick though, because like if you got on there, like it was a cool. Like I got on there a couple times and I was like, fuck yeah, like I'm stoked.
That was like my favorite one. I forget where it was, but it was like you at the end of a McNeil edit, you did a
pegs over ice.
Pegs over ice, yeah.
Yeah,
and fucking, what did he have? I think he had like
It was a snatch clip, and it was like when one of the dudes gets shot, and he's like, "Oh, come on, you barely nicked it." And like I saw it, and I was like, "Oh my god, like I'm fucking like this is what I wanted." Like I was so happy, dude. Like it was such a cool thing for people to even like recognize. Like I was like, nobody's gonna watch this, but like to get on Rodeo Peanut is like, it's like a recognition of like people watching the video. So I was like, oh, this is fuck. Like I was so happy about it.
Yeah.
And like I didn't even for a second consider it to be negative. I was just so happy, and I was like, he used the Snatch clip. I love Snatch. Like it was so funny.
So good.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
Yeah, Dustin is like, everybody needs to go and watch that episode because you know what? A lot of people didn't check it out, which makes me sad because Dustin is such an interesting guy.
He's got a crazy job. He runs
crazy,
I don't know if he tells people that, but yeah.
No, he runs Costanzagrams. We talked about that. We talked about his job with Gary V, and then also like, you know, he ran Rodeo Peanut. It was such a cool episode, and we talked a little bit about like, you know, how he feels about Rodeo Peanut now and everything, and you know, he's sad that he did it. He felt like he was in a bad place, and that, like, you know, he felt like a bully, and like I get it because a lot of people were like really into it, and my thing was that like I had told him multiple times, I don't think that you running Rodeo Peanut was a bad thing. I think that it was all the negative, like I don't know, the negativity that came from other people about that, sure, right? Because like, you know, he ran into Nigel Sylvester the one day, and that was like
he's the only dude that I think that like would maybe be upset about things, but
that's
like
the thing. Nigel didn't care. He was like, I mean, Dustin tried his fucking best to avoid him because he didn't want any confrontation. He didn't want to, you know, have to deal with any of that. Nigel saw him. He's like, "Yo, what's up, Dustin? How's it going?"
That's fucking.
And he's
funny.
like, "Oh,
oh,
hi." Like, no issue.
I
think that's the thing, though, is that like, you know, most people don't care. Like, especially for Nigel, that guy's got way more shit going on. Like, I get it. Some of the stuff that he's said or done is cringy, but like, he's done a lot for BMX. You know what I mean? He's brought people in that don't know much about it. That's my thing. Like
he does, like he's doing his thing. He's hustling his shit. So like, yeah, like respect to him for that for sure. But like, he definitely got he got it hard for sure.
I'm like, whoever runs Team Weed, they're going hard on quite a few people. So.
Yeah, whoever that is. Yeah, Team Weed has been on one lately for sure.
Whoever that is, as if you don't know.
I don't know. I don't know anybody.
Oh, fuck.
Heard it was no, I can't
even
think of anybody
don't name
funny.
Any names.
No, I was gonna say I'm stupid. I couldn't think of anyone funny.
Yeah. Oh man, I talked to Ricky about that because the one day there's like a post on there. He's like, "Oh, good morning, you motherfuckers! Oh shit, wrong account."
Fuck, that's so good.
I guess that he had the login because I know quite a few people have the login. It's not like just one person.
It's spread around. Serious now.
People can go in. I've sent in some like stupid shit before. I sent in this really like funny meme that I didn't use, but it's Ty Morrow holding up the cover of him doing that 360 over the Hollywood High fence.
Oh yeah.
And then I put Kareem Williams' face on him because Kareem tried it before him.
That shit is too good.
I don't know why. I'm like, it was so funny to me.
I love all that. I mean, like, it's definitely fun. Like, I could see how people could kind of get a little bit upset about it, but like,
I think it's an important part of BMX, dude. I think it's important to get called out once in a while, and like, that's only doing it for good fun. You know what I mean? Like, with all the like into grass shit, it's like, at the end of the day, my thought is that nobody cares.
No,
and I think that with a BMX bike, we have more freedom than skaters. We have more freedom than anybody. We should be utilizing that.
Yeah.
You know?
If a perfect setup is into grass, like I'm gonna fucking ride. Like I don't give a shit. Like
absolutely.
Yeah. Like this is if it's a fun setup and it happens to be in grass, then sweet. Maybe I'll try something a little harder because it's not as scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's trade-offs and like I feel like it's good that BMX has that so you can like be like, hey, like chill the fuck out. Like you're not a superstar. Like you're just riding BMX. It's all good. It's just fun. But I could see how people could get a little twisted out of shape about it.
Yeah.
But no. I think Dustin did a good job. It was always super funny.
Yeah, clearly, he never like really did anything that was that mean spirited. That's why it confused me. I'm like, at least from what I can remember, there was really not much on there that was like mean spirited.
He's such a nice guy though. Like I'm sure he was like fuck like stressing, but like it's too funny not. Like some of the stuff was just
the thing is that he is so fucking smart when it comes to like TV references and stuff because he knows so much about television.
Yeah,
of course,
exactly.
Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guy knows so much when it comes to television that like it's impossible not to take that knowledge and do something like that. Like,
yeah, exactly. Some of the shit that he did was so creative and so fucking like he would like he has a fucking like eidetic memory of every episode of Seinfeld. So he's like he hears something, he's like, oh, I have the perfect quote for it. Like that shit's cool as hell. I think it's funny.
It's so good. There's a really funny one. of I always forget how to pronounce his name. I feel so bad. He rides for Shadow and Sabrosa. He always wore a backpack. He wore a backpack at Simple Session and did like a quick run through.
It's not Yuri, is it?
No, it's it starts with an L.
Oh fuck, I don't know.
Oh, I gotta pull him up. You're gonna see it and you're gonna be like, "Are you fucking serious? You don't know how to say his name?"
He was at Simple Session though.
He like was at Simple Session and he had a backpack on and he was like riding the course, and then he took like Dora Explora's bike adventure where she's wearing a backpack and like put it next to it.
That's funny.
Oh, let me pull this up. Jesus, man, why am I terrible with names today?
I am too. It's all good.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm fucking dumb.
Oh, LaShawn.
LaShawn, there we go.
Yeah, LaShawn's a G too. He's badass.
Yeah, they had like a really funny rodeo peanut where it's him like riding around the course with a backpack on.
Yeah, I remember that one now. Yeah, that shit is funny as hell. Like, yeah, LaShawn's another dude. Like, I'm sure he was fucking stoked as hell on that. Like, he's a chiller. He's a sick dude for sure.
Yeah, he's been around for years too. Like, he's not like a new name. He's been on like Sabrosa for close to 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah, because I think he got on Sabrosa whenever I got on like Volume. I'm pretty sure. Like, I think it was around that time, like 2009, 2010. So he's been on Sabrosa for a minute now. Because I remember he rode that like red kit, like their OG red kit, in like one of his edits like years ago.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah,
That's where you got the idea, eh?
Yeah, that was my favorite. I did really like the color of that bike. It was really, really nice.
Oh man, I actually wanted to talk about the colors of your bikes. So you had that red one where you got rodeo peanutted.
Yeah.
And then you also had this really cool black and like I want to say gold splatter.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. I had like a crazy splatter like phase, like while on McNeil. Like I splattered everything for whatever reason.
So was that something that like you did personally, or was it something that you asked McNeil to do? Because with Gabe, we had him on recently, and they actually like when he came back, they sent out a bunch of parts to actually get like painted professionally.
Wow, things have changed.
He had like a really cool. His new frame was like specially painted just for him.
Like the like turquoise or teal. Yeah, no, it looks fucking really, really good. No, that was 100% all me.
That's cool.
Yeah,
how did you do that? Let's explain this to people because myself, I've always just picked up a frame and fucking just thrown it on. Like the bike that I'm riding now, it's a Cult Chase Hawk frame.
Okay.
Black parts except for the chrome rim on the back, blue Profile Elites with a gold like frame.
Oh, sick. That's
so
decent.
How do you go about like splattering this stuff, and how do you get these ideas for everything?
So again, this is not my idea. Because whenever I was writing for Volume, Mike Mastroni was the TM, and he did a lot of splatter jobs.
That guy is
for people.
So crazy, man.
Yeah, he does. He's really out there. He does really, really cool shit.
He's so original.
Yeah,
like,
I saw a clip of him recently. He did like he slid under a bunch of things and then did a hippie hop over the last one. It was like the craziest thing I've seen.
I love the like. One that he posted, I think it was yesterday, the day before. He does a nose manual and then mailboxes and like knocks them all open.
Yeah, that shit is fucking cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah, he really does really cool shit. I think it's because he like rides with that Richie Jackson, the skater, a lot, and like, they have like very similar styles in terms of like their creativity. So, but yeah, no, so he splattered a bunch of frames, and I was like, oh fuck, can you like, I really, really want that. Like, can you do that for me? And he was like, yeah, but it ended up falling. You know, it didn't happen. So. Right. I took it upon myself to just do it. So I just figured, like, I just try and find like whatever color frame they had available. I would try and find a complementary color or like something that would not look shitty.
Right.
And I would just take a can of spray paint and spray it into like a bottle, and then just let it sit there so that the like the aerosol would kind of burn off, and then you just like what are like weird little like eyedropper bottles or whatever, like just the ones that have the squeeze bottle.
Yep.
So like I would just put paint in that and then just like flick it onto the frame wherever I could. So
yeah.
Some people use like the tip of a paintbrush or like a toothbrush and they just flick it.
Yeah, I've seen the toothbrush all the time.
I found this a lot easier because you can literally just like, you can put it exactly where you want as opposed to like just hoping the flick goes somewhere.
Yeah.
So it was like a little cleaner for me and a little easier, but like that's
well,
kind of
also
what I
you
did.
get the big splats, whereas with the toothbrush you get all the small ones.
It's kind of like a mist as opposed.
Yeah,
this one was like a little bit more like almost like stringy. That's a bad word to
No,
describe
I get
but
it though.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit more like a web kind of. So it was really cool.
That's interesting, man. That's really cool. Yeah, those bikes are really cool. You had a blue one
thanks,
like
man.
that too, like a black with blue splatter on it. Did you not?
I think that was actually a buck frame.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a We the People. And then I had like one of my favorite ones was like it was a raw McNeil calico, but I put like turquoise splatter on it.
That's such a cool idea.
It looked really. I got lucky and like it looked amazing. But
Yeah.
I haven't done that for a while. I've been rocking stock
Yeah,
colors for a minute.
I really liked. I think it was a volume frame, but this is when I had first like kind of heard of you when you came to All In years ago. There was like an event that was going on.
The one that I was too hungover to ride at.
Probably.
I didn't get on my bike at all.
It's so
I
funny.
felt so bad. I just sat in the corner with my hood up. I was just like, I can't feel my face.
Oh, whatever.
It was fun though.
I don't think Derek cares that much.
No,
You know
I think he
what
was just
mean?
stoked that we were there. So I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, like I can just chill and watch Dean.
Hell yeah. No, that was that frame. Did you do the forks and bars with it too? That's
Some of
always a
them-
cool thing. Is
Yeah.
like you
Some
do
of
the
them
forks and bars.
I would do just fork, and some of them I would do fork and bar. But like
Yeah.
I tried to mix it up between. It was always fork, but like sometimes I would add the bar too. But it depended.
For sure. Do you think that like when it comes to designing or not designing, but like picking out colorways and stuff for your bikes, that it's important to like do something that matches, or is it just something that kind of like do it the way you think it would do? Like, let's say if you were to get a pro model frame and you were able to choose the colorways for it, what would you want to do with it?
That's a hard question, actually.
I know it's so hard to think of
That's a
because
really
there's so
hard
many good
question.
options.
Yeah.
It's just, I know I didn't write it down, but I should have. But that's like, I might,
Yeah.
ask quite a few other people that now because
Yeah,
that's a good question.
That's a good question. Honestly, like I have a lot of really talented designer friends, like graphic designers and stuff like that. So like I would probably consult with one of them, and like there's a few designers that I really enjoy their style. So like I would probably just be like, listen, like this is happening. I want you to come up with like a decal design and then like colorways, because like I'm not. Especially because of my job, like I know I'm not a designer and I know I'm not like artistically inclined or anything like that. So like I rely on other people to do that shit for me, but I know what I like.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to get there. So
Fair.
like I would just trust one of them to figure something nice out. But like obviously like one of them would have to be matte black, because that's just or like that's like the ED black, the satin black.
Yeah.
It's like probably my favorite color ever.
Oh, it's such a good like color, and I
Yeah,
think that
it's
like
so nice.
black is probably the best color that you can do for like at least part lines. Maybe a frame you can pick your colors, but like
Yeah.
to me it's always black and raw. Like black or raw is the best colors that you can do.
Yeah, for sure. Black is just like, it's classic. It's just like a tuxedo. Like it just works.
It works with anything, right? Like you can never have a bike that doesn't look good with black on it.
Yeah, exactly. Like yeah, it's a win-win for sure. Like recently, like I put on at the Christmas party. Actually, I got a bunch of the like the Merritt green stuff.
Nice.
And this is the first time I've had like any kind of colored shit on my bike for a while, and I'm just like, oh, it looks kind of cool. Like it's just nice to see like little flashes of not black for once. So it's been nice.
I really like the stuff that Merritt does. Like shout out to Mike Brennan and anybody else that's working at Merritt to
Sean,
design this
Ricky.
stuff. Sean, the colorways that you guys are doing there are really cool. Like I really like how you guys did the tan pegs. Like the Began pegs that were tan color. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Or like the yellow.
Yeah, there was a yellow. I think there not a tan colorway.
There was like
the
OG ones were gray. And then there
okay,
was
yeah,
black,
the gray.
and then
black.
the gray is really nice as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do
those
really
are
good colors.
really cool, man. I'm like that shit is you don't really see that. Like maybe back in the late 2000s, you would see like metal pegs that were colored.
Yeah.
You know, like I had a white like Shadow Conspiracy peg at one point. I had those like
the paint would just chip off the first grind. Yeah, I know those ones.
and then you've got like, oh, do you remember the Primo binary pegs?
Yeah.
Did you ever ride for Primo?
No.
All right, I'm gonna talk so much shit right now.
Let's hear it.
Those fucking pegs, dude. I bought a set of those, and they had like, the clear sleeves with the green aluminum inserts. You could get all the different like colored inserts with the clear sleeve. Problem is with the clear sleeve, the first fucking grind you do on it, they just crack and explode.
Oh yeah, because they were too brittle or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's the thing. They're too brittle. They don't work. I'm like, what the hell? Why would you sell this?
Yeah, like did you not test these
Yeah.
for like 10 minutes?
I know. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like literally the first fucking grind that I did just cracked the sleeve. I'm like, how does this happen? Like I know I wasn't very good at the time.
I mean, still, it
so I
shouldn't do
slamming
that.
into it, but like
That's what they're for.
that's the thing. That's what they're for is
Like,
slamming into
literally
shit.
just hitting like solid objects. Like they should be pretty
I know. I don't
stout.
know why I was so young at the age, but I was like, are you fucking serious? Like I just spent my birthday money on this.
Yeah, that's a huge bummer. I'm assuming no warranty.
No warranty.
Okay.
I didn't even bother with
peg,
it.
Man.
Yeah. I think I ended up just like rotating it and then riding the plastic on the other side, running
Jesus.
like getting rid of it, and then just running a really weird aluminum peg for like forever.
Yeah.
I was too cheap and too fucking young to care. That's the thing. Like nowadays, I'm like I run, I think the Fiend pegs, like the longer Fiend ones, with all black. But yeah, they're pretty cool. I gotta switch up some stuff. I barely ride anymore, but I need to fucking get out more.
Yeah.
And like I think that if I just start putting new shit on my bike, I'll enjoy it more.
Yeah, it's always nice to get those little pieces, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, I wonder how it feels. So like it like motivates you to go out and try shit. For
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. And I'm definitely gonna get all my parts from Harvester Bikes. Go to harvesterbikes.com and order from them.
Shout out Ant.
And that's really cool. Anyways, let's step back from BMX for a minute. You're a web developer, right?
Yes.
So how did you get into this line of work, and explain to people what you kind of do?
Okay, so like I'm a front end UI developer, which is basically like I just build what you see on the website. So like I just do the front end, like all the styling, colors, positioning, all that stuff. So currently I work at a SaaS business in Markham. We have like a product that we sell to companies, and we have an employee rewards and recognition portal that we sell to people. So like that's all I work on. It's pretty boring, but so like I said, I was working at a bike shop for over a decade, and I realized that I wasn't going to be able to really support myself like in the way that I wanted to on a bike shop salary, obviously. So I figured it was time to change it up. And funnily enough, my mother-in-law was kind of like, hey, you're dating my daughter and you work at a bike shop. What's up with that? I was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, she's right. So, so I just decided to this is really funny, but I'd always been really enamored with how code looked.
Yeah.
Like just literally just how it looked on a screen. And I was like, oh, that looks so cool. Not like because I wanted to make computers work or whatever. Like I was just like, this just looks cool. So I want to be able to make that shit. Not a site, just just the fucking
just code.
Yeah, but like it's it kind of like drew me to it, and I started fiddling with a few things, and then I took a course, like a 2-month intensive course. So like I quit the bike shop and did that for 2 months, and like ended up getting really lucky. But the reason I picked that was because I wanted a job that would. I based my entire career around riding, which is really funny. So like I was like, I need to be able to work from home so I can like work remotely on trips and stuff.
Yeah.
I need to be able to do something that's not super physical so that I can go and rest and recover at work. So like if I get hurt, like for example, like I fucked my foot up, so I'm going to be able to go into the office and just chill. Like I don't have to worry about like lifting shit or like moving stuff around. So I wanted something that I could do anywhere and that I could relax while doing, because the rest of my life is so active. So I didn't want to like be burning the candle on both ends. So came to this, like I ended up on this, and it has been working for the past like 4.5, 5 years.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've been really, really lucky. A lot of my friends work in advertising. So like I got in pretty quickly to a few ad agencies downtown, and then I moved out of downtown, and now I've got this pretty cool SaaS job, and my boss is fucking awesome. So like anytime I need time to ride or anything like that, he's like, yeah, take off. It's no big deal. So
That's really cool.
yeah, it worked out really well, like way better than I could have ever expected or hoped for.
Yeah.
So
It's always really cool when you get a job or you get a manager or an owner, for that fact, that is like so willing to do whatever to help you. So like right now I just work at like a retail store, because that's what a 23-year-old dude does that has dreams, apparently.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Anyways, this retail store, they actually like, I get paid more than minimum wage, which is nice. I get, like quite a few benefits there, including I don't work weekends at all. So that was something that I went to the manager after working, or not the manager, the owner, after a year of working there. I was like, look, I have ideas that I want to do, but I can only do it on the weekends. That's just how this works. Most people have weekends off. It's the only time they're going to be able to do this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's fine.
That's amazing.
Like, are you fucking serious right now? This is incredible. But yeah, like, I definitely got to say, I really appreciate, like, what Carolyn, the owner of the Plato's Closet where I work, has done.
Okay. Oh, you work at Plato's Closet? Okay,
Yeah,
sick.
that place is so much fun, dude. It's like, it's such an easy job. I just hang out and talk to people most of the time. And then,
Yeah. My wife would freak out. She loves that place.
it's so cool, dude. Like, I'm more of a thrifter when it comes to clothing. I just don't want to I'm so cheap that I don't want to fucking spend $100 on a sweatshirt when I can get it for 20.
Stupid.
Like,
yeah, why would you? Fuck
yeah,
that.
that's just my opinion, anyways. But I definitely really like the way that I have my work set up right now because I'm doing the podcast, I'm doing this other stuff, and then also I'm currently creating like a pilot for an animated TV show.
Oh yeah, I heard of it. That's fucking
Thank
awesome,
you.
man. That's wicked.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I hope that fucking goes somewhere.
Yeah, fingers crossed. That would be fucking cool
Yeah,
as hell.
it would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, though, so I would like to talk a little bit about this. What's your opinion on WordPress or Wix? And I'm assuming that your opinion is going to be kind of negative towards it. So let's talk about why WordPress or Wix shouldn't be your first idea when it comes to a website.
All right. From my perspective, first and foremost, fuck WordPress because I hate working with it.
WordPress is terrible.
I fucking hate working with it. But that's
Squarespace is another one.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just did a Squarespace thing for a freelance client and I was like, this is horrible. Like I can't do shit. Like you're so locked into a box with Squarespace. It's even worse than WordPress. I couldn't believe it. But WordPress is good for certain things. Like say if you're someone who really want to get into web development, but you want actually, you know what? I guess Wix would be better for that because like you can just do it literally from the GUI and you can just like you don't have to deal with code at all. But WordPress you still have to fuck with code a little bit. So I mean like there's certain situations where I would maybe recommend it. Like if someone was like, oh, I got a small budget, I kind of want to handle a lot of the stuff myself. I'd be like, oh yeah, maybe go check out Wix or Squarespace.
Right.
Because they do have good templates and like I guess so does WordPress. So like you can kind of go that route if you want to be someone who like just kind of handles your own shit. Like for example, like Corey Beal at Floodway, Repset, I guess. He's a WordPress guru now just because he had to do it. He was like, well, I don't want to pay somebody hundreds of thousands of dollars to figure this out. So I'm just gonna do it myself. And now like sometimes I'll hit him up about WordPress shit because like I don't really fuck with WordPress too often. So I'll be like, oh, Corey, how did you do this or whatever? And he'll be like, oh, there's all these plugins and whatever. But so that's a perfect example of why you would want to use one of those. But like me, like I build the shit that they offer you. So it's like, it makes my job a fucking pain in the ass because I have to go in and like basically overwrite everything that they've done for no real benefit. Yeah. I mean, like the main benefit with those is like the CMS side of things, which is like the content management system where people can go in and actually update things without code, like the admin or whatever. So like building shit like that for clients and knowing that they're never going to actually go in there and use it because it's a full-time job to be like a blogger or like a content editor or whatever. Like you need someone to be able to do that shit. So like I'll always try and convince clients, like my personal clients, I'll be like, listen, like it's cheaper for you to just let me build this site without a CMS, like just a front end. And if you need things changed, like I'll just go in and change it. Yeah. Instead of you like getting fucking shagged around with like all this stupid shit and like having to figure out how to actually do this stuff. Like it's a lot easier if you just give me a couple bucks, I'll do it, and then you don't have to worry about it. And if it fucks up, then it's on me, not you. Exactly, yeah. So I've been like, I push that pretty hard. Like I have had to build a couple CMS sites with like custom CMSs and shit, and it's like, it's a pain in the ass, and like you try, I'm sure everyone has seen that meme about like how user design flow goes, and then there's like a picture of someone doing something stupid, and it's like the user, and it's like something you've never thought about. So like that happens all the time when you build a CMS. So it's like they will break it 100%, and you'll have to go in there and probably for free fix it. Yeah. So like I always kind of try and stay away from that shit because they're gonna need your help anyway. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. So for myself, obviously, I'm trying to do something. I want to actually build a website. What do you think would be the best idea for me as a customer that wants to come in and I want a website that I can update like myself, or I can like, I want to be able to post everything that I do on there essentially. Just right. Like more like a blog, I guess, okay. But like with everything, like custom pages that have like, info about the riders that I filmed with, podcasts that I've done. I want to be able to like live stream my podcast to it. Cause right now I'm just doing it to YouTube, which it would go to that anyways, but obviously just using betting and whatnot and you can throw it in there. But what's your idea? What would be the best thing for me? I would probably say, maybe like a pre-made template type thing.
Yeah.
Unless like, do you have like coding experience at all, or
No, not at all.
Okay, so if
I have like access to all the Adobe apps. So I know there's an app that Adobe has made. I forget what it's called. I don't know if you use it at all.
He's a
but
lot of Adobe stuff, so possibly like it's
Yeah.
like might be like XD. Or
I think
something
it's
like,
XD.
Yeah, so XD is like a design tool, but it doesn't really give you like it'll give you like the styles that you need, but it's based around the wrong idea, because it's like it's basically just like, this is a giant plot of whatever, and this is your website, and you stick stuff here.
Yeah.
And like they give you like exact pixel specifications of where it needs to be and stuff, but like the real world doesn't work like that.
Right.
These things need to be responsive. They need to be like adaptable to stuff like that. So it's like, you can take that shit, and as long as someone looks at it on a specific size screen and like all this shit is right, like it'll look good, but that fucking never happens. So
Yeah.
it's like that stuff is, it's kind of misleading in terms of like, oh, like it'll just spit out CSS and markup for you and whatever. But
that's the big thing though, is that like people are using different size phones. People are using, computers. And like, to me, I always think that most people would probably just use their phone nowadays to look up a
90%
website.
of people, yeah.
And like, I don't know if it's just that, I'm not very smart about this shit, but I'm always like, what websites do people actually go to nowadays? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it is kind of a weird thing where I'm like, if you have an Instagram page, you're going to get more traffic on it than a website potentially. But a website, you can display a way better like image of what your idea is, I guess.
Yeah, you have more
freedom,
to,
obviously.
show what you're about. Yeah,
yeah.
For sure. Like I generally,
plus I think that like you only really look professional once you have all of these things. You have a website,
exactly.
You have everything set up. So,
and I mean, like, it's such a simple thing to set up. Like, it's like, why the fuck not? Like, even like guaranteed, like with zero experience, you can probably do it within an afternoon with one of these tools. But it's like, obviously, like anything, you can go down a rabbit hole and spend a ton of money and get something completely custom, like hire a custom designer, custom developer, and like do all that shit. Like I've worked on a couple freelance jobs like that, and it's like, it's not frustrating, but it's like these people have to kind of understand that like when you want to go about something that way, that you have to like have a workflow in place, and like you have to like make sure that like the different contractors are meeting up and like everything's moving smoothly and shit like that. So it's like anything, it's just like a rat's nest if you want it to be. But if you want it to be easy, there's routes as well. But I mean, yeah, like if it's something you wanted to do on your own, like I'd probably recommend like maybe setting up a Wix or something like that, just because like those ones are really easy.
Yeah.
But if you do want to get past that, then like we can talk about the million different other options there.
Yeah, of course.
I think the main thing is like the main deciding factor is budget, really.
Yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, we'll move on from that. I think it's really cool that you do that as a job, man. I think that a lot of people don't really think about what's happening in the future, I guess. Like, I hate to get all political, but right now in the States, obviously, the States is so crazy with politics and how they do everything. They run candidates for such a long time, like literally a year and a half, 2 years of like, they need to try and convince people. Whereas here in Canada, we don't even really do it for 90 days. Like most times it's like you get less than 3 months to pick out a candidate that's going to run the country for 4 years. But in the States right now, they have a candidate named Andrew Yang. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yeah.
But Andrew, basically, he's kind of coming forward with all of these ideas that are more forward thinking, that aren't in the past. He's saying, you need to think 10 years in the future and how things are going to be then. Like truck driving isn't really going to be a thing because they're already automating those jobs away.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at anytime you go into a Walmart, like what do you have now? You have to fucking check out yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to be more and more prevalent.
So he's got a lot of cool ideas behind that, but I think that's kind of like an important thing. I don't know where I was going with this, but I think it's important to kind of like stick with a job that's more towards the future of things. So I think that what you're doing is definitely awesome because it is something that like, you could get a computer to do it. It's not going to be very good. Like you're not going to be able to do it.
That's the thing. Like, there's always going to be like the need for like a human in that sense. Like until AI gets to the point where like robots are humans, like it's going to be, you know what I mean? But yeah, like obviously everybody grows up riding and dreaming about like having like the pro lifestyle and traveling and all that bullshit, and like I really wanted that, and I feel like I tried for that, but living in Canada, it's next to impossible unless you're like a fucking phenom, because like no company wants to fly some dude from Canada out whenever it's like $1,200 each way kind of thing. Like it's a huge,
it is kind of a weird thing, eh? Like I think that
terrible.
Merit is probably the only company out there that's really like not from Canada that's supporting a lot of Canadian riders.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, like how many riders does Merit have that are from Canada? You got yourself,
me, Lee,
Greg, Dennis, Greg, Joel
Eli,
Fortin,
Joel.
Eli. I know there's more. I know that there's another one. I don't know who it is, but I swear.
But yeah, like either way, but yeah, like there's like that's a lot of, and like it's funny because we're like all friends, so
yeah.
like, it's hilarious. But like yeah, like I think a lot of it has to do. I don't know because I think some of the other guys deal with OGC. Like I deal with Mike and Ricky directly.
Does Eli deal with OGC? Because I know he does for Fiend.
I don't know.
I think he deals with OGC for Fiend.
I would assume that he deals with OGC for both, but like like I both. Like, it's funny because like OGC carries Kink and
Merit.
Merit. But like I deal directly with Jay and directly with Mike for stuff. So
oh, that's
like,
cool.
Yeah, no, it's really nice because it's like I deal directly with.
You don't have to talk with somebody else. You know
yeah, there's no like I dealt with distro stuff for so long, and now that it's like not the case, it's like so sweet because I'm like, oh yo, what's up, dude? Like here's my clips. As opposed to like, you know. I
feel like we kind of mentioned it earlier, but we didn't really dive deep on it. Why do distributors why are distributors a thing? Why is that something where you can't just buy something from a company? You know what I mean? I can't just go to Cult and say, hey, I want to buy a frame. I have to go through Ryder or whoever carries Cult. I think it's Ryder, which is actually in Kitchener, by the way.
Yeah. I used to go hang out at Ryder a lot.
Nice.
Which is funny, like back when I worked at Bike Zone. But
yeah, I really want to get John from Ryder on here, but I don't think he'll do it. I don't think he will. I think he's more of a quiet guy. He doesn't really care about being in the spotlight. Yeah. I think he just likes doing what he does. So
I mean, who knows? John's a different fella, so I'm not sure. I mean, maybe he would be into it. Who knows? But
yeah,
worth an ask because I'm sure he's got a lot of stories and crazy shit. Like I know he's been in the scene for like fucking 20 years now. So
yeah, I'll have to ask.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Sorry, I completely forgot what the question was.
No, that's okay.
Oh, yeah, the distro thing.
Yeah, sorry, the mic is doing something really weird. Let's see if I can.
Is that working now?
That is working now.
Okay, sick.
I love how it's like that's all you gotta do is just give it a light tap and it works.
Like a cartoon, just hit it with a hammer, you're good. I mean, I think that's kind of changing now because like everybody, like I just finished building the cinema Shopify site, and like I know
that's really cool.
Yeah, it was a really fucking cool opportunity. Shout out Matt and Harley for hooking me up with that. But yeah, like I think a lot of people are kind of moving towards that, like, you know, B2C kind of model as opposed to like to distro, because it's like distros, you know, it's hard to like stock all that shit, you know, like 10 different complete companies and shit like that. Like it's impossible to like keep all that stuff in line and like, you know, pump up every brand that you have, especially now that there's like 2 distros in Canada. So it's like
there really isn't many. There's OGC and Ryder, isn't there?
Like is Kill 'Em All a thing anymore?
Kill 'Em All is, yeah.
Okay.
Blaze at Kill 'Em All. I guess I forgot about that, but at least when I was last dealing with distros, he was still there. Like I remember, you know, people that know me will know that I've knocked my fucking teeth out like 5 or 6 times now. Like scary. Literally can't remember how many times. This tooth is fake as fuck. Like.
Oh Jesus,
that's crazy. It fucking moves around so much. It's just on a wire, but
oh, that's gnarly.
It's so bad, and I just refuse to fix it because like it's so expensive.
Yeah, exactly. That's just too expensive.
And I'm just gonna knock it out again. Like, let's be real here.
Wait until you're 50.
Yeah, exactly. I just fucking put dentures in at that point.
Or that, yeah. Fuck it, why not?
But anyways, when I was at All In, I snapped my forks on a box jump, and you know, the next day I'm like. Well, that day we're in the hospital, and Derek's on the phone with Blaze at Kill 'Em All. Yeah, I got Chris Kyle and Alex Donahue here. Like, say hello. I'm like,
what the
fuck?
All right, cool. Super random.
Oh, like that's so crazy. But distros were kind of a thing because they needed to be able to carry the product that somebody is buying from them, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
As opposed to like shipping it internationally every time.
It's really weird to think that like you have to have a middleman in these kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, like in any industry, like it's such like it always reminds me of that like that Office episode where like they have like take your kid to work day.
Yeah.
And they're like, so do you guys make the paper? And they're like, no, we buy it and then sell it. And then the dude's like, oh, you're just a middleman. He's like, no, it's important.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's true. It's like, what, like, why, like, what?
It is kind of like, well, why don't you just buy it directly from the company? But then you really start to think and you're like, well, wait a second. If fucking all these shops around the world are trying to hit up this one company, how are they going to deal with it, right? You kind of need a distributor within each region to deal with those amount of people. Because especially like in Ontario, think about how many different BMX shops or shops that carry BMX we have, you know? Like there's quite a few.
I think like a continental distro situation would be good because like obviously like us ordering from the States it's expensive, but it's not that huge of a deal. Yeah. But like it would be different if like we lived in like Australia or something. You know what I mean? Like we can't like ship stuff.
Well, it's hard to ship everything in when you're on fire. Apparently.
Yeah, there's that too. But yeah, like I mean, like it seems weird, but like I don't understand the whole business side of that thing anyway. And like I feel like it's such a traditional thing, like having like a middleman, like a distro. It's like just kind of how things go. But I think like e-commerce is really disrupting that.
Yeah.
So, which is awesome because it's like if you need something obscure, you just go to the manufacturer and get it directly from them. It makes things a lot easier. Not necessarily cheaper, but you know.
There you go. Well, you know, I got a couple more questions here, but something that I'm amazed about is that you haven't mentioned anything about the wooden dick yet. Literally everybody, dude. Mike Escamilla last week was like, "Hey, you see that wooden dick on the table? Do you want to just like, you know, put that in your mouth real quick?" Like, Mike Escamilla told me to do that. I didn't, but like, that's hilarious.
I've looked at it a couple times and I was like, that is a dick.
I even got this there for you just so you can read it. It's a ball examination thing. So.
So you practice on the dick just so you don't.
There you go.
Up.
Exactly. No, my girlfriend like she put this there the other day, and I was like, "That's fucking hilarious." So I'm just gonna leave that there.
Perfect sculpture whittle or whatever the fuck you call it.
Yeah, I had to fucking mention it because you're the only one that hasn't mentioned it. Like I've had people just like pet it and stuff.
I looked over it a couple times and I'm like, maybe I'm seeing it wrong. Maybe it's something else.
No, it's 100% a wooden dick.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Down with that.
Oh, fuck. All right, so we'll do a fan question. Harvester sent this one in. He wants to know some stories from the core warehouse.
Oh, fuck.
Got anything good? Maybe something that's safe for work.
Yeah, that really kind of cuts down the amount of things that I can say because a lot of gnarly shit happened there. As everyone knows, it was like
the best.
Definitely not. It was amazing. It's the only reason why I am where I am today. I guarantee it. Like same thing for like me, Moxley. I know Silva had like
Moxley
he came
sick.
Up a lot there.
Silva, I wanted to mention him earlier. I always shout him out on the podcast and talk like so great about him, and every single time he messages me, he's like, "Hey man, I really want to thank you." I'm like, "You're such a solid fucking dude." Silva's so cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, so like he kind of came up there as well. He was already like kind of established, but like we really like honed a lot of stuff there. Like so there's a bunch of dudes that really like kind of cut their teeth there. So like there was no insurance, no safety measures, nothing. It was just like up crazy stairs in the middle of nowhere in like Scarborough. I guess like kind of Scarborough-ish, but like yeah, like there was, you didn't have to wear a helmet. Like you could smoke inside, you could drink as long as it wasn't glass. Like it was, it was just like a party house basically with ramps. So like I was living in Barrie at the time, and I would drive down to Toronto probably 3 to 4 times a week to ride there, like at from like 8 to midnight. So it was a gnarly lifestyle. But I was like 18, 19, so I didn't really feel it. But what happened there? Fuck. I had my 19th birthday there, which was really fucking cool. So like it was like a ton of people came out and we all got wasted and just rode for till like 3 a.m. It was amazing. Shout out Ron for setting that up. Yeah, it's really hard to think of one that's not that's not NSFW.
Well, I mean, you can fucking say it, but it's up to you. This podcast already goes uploaded as explicit, so don't worry.
It was so long ago. Fuck. Just random. Like you would show up and random pros would be there. Like the Tree crew came through. Like Strange A's crew came through one time. always be tons of chicks there, so you'd always try to be like all the the dudes would bring their chicks, and like the girls would bring their friends, so like it was kind of like, oh, like there's like people here, like I gotta step up. So
I gotta
like
start landing some shit.
Yeah, there was a bit of that, and like it was just like a clubhouse, so there was a lot of drinking, a lot of debauchery.
I feel like BMX needs more of that.
Oh hell yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was such a solid place. Like nobody gave a fuck, but like everybody was again super supportive, and like it was like a really positive place, but it wasn't like any bullshit. So it was like a really special thing to be a part of, because it's like that doesn't happen anymore unless it's like someone's house kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, no, it was I fucking miss that place. R.I.P. the warehouse. That shit was like, those dudes were so fucking good, and like that place was just the best place to ride. So
hell yeah. Well, Harvester, thank you for sending that in.
Yeah, thanks.
For anybody that's listening, Harvester actually just started a podcast, and I actually like helped him kind of get to doing that. So I'm really excited. Like he just did one with
Wade,
with Dave and whatnot, and that's really cool, man.
Yeah, I gotta check that one out actually. That's
Harvester.
Really cool thing.
Shout out to you, man. You're the best. Cool. So I've got, I think just one question left here.
Oh, last one.
This is a really important one. I think you'll be able to give us a good answer on this.
I'm sweating.
Can you name off a few of the best burger places in Toronto?
Oh, fuck.
And what are your thoughts on Golden Star?
Golden Star?
Have you not heard of Golden Star?
No.
Oh my god.
What the fuck is that?
It's a burger place in Toronto.
Oh my god.
Dude, you're going to get called the fuck out.
I don't know where this burger... I'm not like a burger
I thought you were.
I mean, like I like burgers a lot, but I'm trying to cut them down.
I checked your LinkedIn.
Oh, that's what
it said.
It said a good burger.
Yeah.
A really good burger that I really like is Fresh Burger, but I don't think they're like downtown. They're more like Markham, Richmond Hilly.
For sure.
But like they do fucking amazing burgers. Burgers Priest is obviously really good. They're not as great now because there's so many of them, but like when we were at Core, actually, like the original location opened up like a block east of us, so like I would always walk over and like talk to the owner and shit, and like that place was amazing. That was like one of the first places that I had like a real kind of like a smash type burger.
Nice.
So like that was really cool. What else?
You gotta go to Golden Star.
Yeah,
my buddy Travis, he's gonna fucking call you out for that. He lives for Golden Star. It's like you go through his fucking profile photos on like Facebook or whatever, and it's literally like Golden Star, BMX photo, him in front of Golden Star, BMX, him in a Golden Star hat.
That's fucking fire.
Yeah, he loves it.
I gotta try that. Like I said, I've been trying to cut like. I've been feeling really bad about eating meat lately, obviously, because everybody has been. But like, I've been really, really trying to cut down my beef. But like, every once in a while, like before
you gotta have a good burger. It's just a must.
It's so fucking hard to like abstain from that shit. Yeah. And like even coming today, like we stopped at Wendy's and I had a junior bacon cheeseburger, and I was just like, oh my god, I miss
good old JBC.
Like I just like it's hard to kind of delete that part of your life.
No, of course.
I feel so guilty every time I eat a burger now.
That's fair. No, I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I should really cut back on meat. I just eat so much of it, and I'm like...
Yeah, like 2-3 times a day, and it's like that impact is just like...
I eat bacon with eggs like almost every morning or some sort of, something like that. So I gotta fucking cut back.
And it's good because it's fucking awesome. Like it tastes so awesome. Good, but
it's great, but like...
Oh man, I saw that like... that viral video of like the pig painting, and it was like so happy, and I was just like, fuck, I'm an asshole. Like, I felt so bad, which is silly kind of, but like, it is what it is.
That's fair. So what are your plans for next year before we end this off? You got a new video part coming up? What do you got going on?
Right now I don't really have much in the works. I really obviously like the plan never changes. Like it's always like film like crazy as much as you can, whatever that ends up going to, then like who cares? Like as long as I'm filming, like I'll just put something out on Instagram if I have to, or I'll give some shit to Mare, or like, but I'm going to be filming regardless. So there's going to be that. Hopefully a lot more traveling. Like I'm going to try and hopefully get across the pond once or twice, get down to Cali, get down to Austin, like the standards. Just stay healthy and stay happy and keep riding. Like I don't really have any plans. Like I just want to keep doing what I've been doing because it's been keeping me happy. So keep it simple.
Hey, I gotta say, huge thank you for coming out today,
dude. Thanks for having me. This was fucking awesome.
This was awesome. Really cool. I'm really excited. This went really well. So
hell yeah.
Thank you, man.
I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I was like, fuck this.
No, this is a lot of fun. This is seriously one of the funnest episodes I've ever done. I feel like I've known you for so long. I'm like, this is the first time we've met.
Nervous at all. Like it was so chill, and like it was.
Hell yeah.
You run a tight ship, so I really appreciate the opportunity, man.
Well, thank you.
Hell yeah.
But thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for listening. We'll come back
tomorrow, actually, with Kieran McHugh. Yes, that's the name.
Yeah.
He's a Scottish rider. We're just going to talk to him about the scene in Scotland. I'm really excited for that. Peace out. Thanks.
Later.